You are not you. You're me.
No shit.
Hightailed it out of there.
Are you crazy? Don't go between them! Go between them! Are you crazy?
Welcome to my home.
Good morning. Good morning. Let me know if audio's good, because again, I was messing with it this morning because it just didn't work out. I put up a TV over here and I went to plug in the laptop to it and it was great, but it was so bright. It just, everything, you could just see the entire screen in my glasses and you couldn't see anything else. So I moved the room around again and I tried to fix the audio. So we got that. And I think I'm good. But we're going to be doing, but good morning. We got a lot of stuff to cover. And I don't actually have a busy day today. I'm going to have a really relaxed day. So I hope everybody's doing that. And again, always, I've enjoyed the post of like what everybody's watching this weekend. So definitely post that stuff over on the community tab. Let me get a sip of coffee first. Grab a mug because we got a lot of stuff to get into. But the very first thing, let me double check. I'll read you loud and clear. Awesome. Before I get too far into it, let's go to this. So we have a new channel member. Welcome, new channel member, and it's Rogue Rebel 41. Welcome. And let's get you. And good morning and welcome. So we got that going on. And the very first thing I want to talk about today, we got new 4Ks, new Blu-rays, new announcements, stuff from Disney. So this is awesome because it's stuff that people have been talking about forever. So the question is Disney loosening the reins? And I kind of predicted it was going to happen a little bit. I don't think it's going to open the floodgates. I don't think we're going to get some of those things that people have wanted for years, but you know, just this past year alone, Disney has licensed out a ton of stuff to other streaming services. So it just seems, possible that we're going to get stuff. But there's a whole new restoration on Dead Poets Society getting a 4K. We're going to talk about that and a bunch of other stuff. So we're going to dive into all that. But before I get super excited and sidetracked, I want to show this off because I've been talking about recently how my love for Howard the Duck. Well, it's not really recently. I always do. But recently I've talked more about it, and I've been on this hunt for, trying to get some other versions that I just never had in the collection. So I did find this. So I have the Howard the Duck DVD with the slipcover. And that's the thing is, I'm pretty sure when I bought this back in the day, I threw the slipcover away. So I'm frustrated. But it's got a little tear in there. And so eventually I would like to get a different one. But it was kind of cool because this stuff you very rarely see. And we never saw a ton of slipcovers on DVDs. And so when you did, it was kind of weird. But yeah, that's something that I've changed my mind on it for special things. That's special to me. And I unboxed this on my my haul video yesterday. And so I want to show this off because this is something that if you haven't seen the haul video and you haven't seen this, this is amazing. And so TJ sent this over, but he picked it up in Japan. And I want to bring this up because everyone says certain labels or certain releases are just, astronomically expensive and I get it. But the thing is, they always have been. If it's a limited edition, special edition of something, they always have been. This version here costs 30,000 yen. And if you convert that to US dollars, that's $200. But if you adjust for inflation, that's close to $280 for this DVD set. And so the thing is, the stuff has always been expensive. And this is in Japan. So this was released in Japan. They always did some really cool stuff for DVDs. But could you honestly tell me, the people are saying that some of this stuff is just so expensive. Those same people would not pay $300 for this back in 2004. So I get it. But the thing is, this wasn't for everybody. And the crazy thing is, even though it cost so much back then, he found it at a thrift store in Japan, and it was for 500 yen, which is just a few dollars. So that's awesome. And this is just an amazing set. And Japan released a ton of really cool DVD box sets and tons of that stuff. So yeah, I'm going to be doing more deep dives into the Japanese stuff because I'm a huge fan, and they put out some really cool things that we've just never seen. But good morning. Good morning. Let's see. Who's here this morning? Dark Cloud, good morning, everyone. Oh, we got the everyone. We missed it last week. Nobody got it last week, but good morning. Nice to start the day off with that.
Bring me everyone. What do you mean, everyone?
Ah, yes, everyone. Thanks for hitting that up this morning. And how the heck are you, 80s? I am great. How about you, Dark Cloud? How about you? And Mark's movie, howdy, brother. Great to see you and everyone. Nice with the everyone again this morning. I love the enthusiasm. We just missed it last week. Let's see. It's a big movie day, movie delivery day for me. Nice. I got a few things coming. Not a lot, but I got a few things I'm looking forward to. And Darren G, good morning, brother. Good morning. And let's see. I have the Karate Kid 6 movie collector's edition box set arriving, and the Top Gun super fan collection gift sets. Nice, including 2 limited edition steelbooks. Sweet. I hope everything comes in perfect condition and you enjoy, brother. Sounds like an awesome day. Going to be an awesome unboxing. Yeah, I bet. You got a lot of good stuff there. And good morning, Sith Brick. Good morning. Audio video 5.5. Nice. Yeah, I don't know. What you guys think of doing this angle and getting more of the VHS and the other stuff in the corner? Or did you like it the other way, where it was just tight on the the backdrop there? Because I don't know how I feel about it, but I do kind of like it. It shows more of the collection off, I guess. And then I do have black wallpaper coming in, so I'm going to do the whole closet there. I'm going to do all the black and just kind of black it out more and do that. So I'm doing that this weekend. That is what I'm doing. Arthur, good morning, folks. Good morning and happy Saturday to you too, brother. Read you loud and clear. Nice. Good morning, TJ. Good morning, brother. Let's see. The next after that, I should be receiving the 25th anniversary Titanic Collector's Edition. Nice. I got the DVD Collector's Edition. I found it at a thrift store a while back, and I think that was awesome. So I was like, I didn't jump on the new one, but yeah, that's good. I just have the regular standard 4K of that, but I do enjoy that. I enjoy that film a lot. And James, let's see. Good morning, brother. Good morning, brother. I like that. I don't know if it was the Vietnam reference or Good Morning Vietnam reference, but I kind of felt that it was. But that's how I'm taking it. And I'm watching a new scary movie in theaters with the wifey. Nice. Let me know how you think of that. I've heard mixed reviews and nothing real positive. But the thing is, like, I guess it's like trending to crap on new movies. And I was like, I've been crapping on new movies for years now. And the thing is, like, I've always questioned, like, am I just this grumpy old man and just I like the old stuff? But no, because like no matter what, there's new people coming up, and like you can like whatever you like. I get it, but there's new people coming up that are going back to the old stuff. And when I was that age gap, what's that, 40 years now? When I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, I wasn't looking back 40 years and watching all those movies. And I do now, and I appreciate them now, but back when I was a kid, I wasn't. But you have a lot of kids now and young 20-something-year-olds that are really just diving into 80s and 90s and sometimes 70s stuff. And it's not just the ones that are still being talked about 40, 50 years later. They're diving into some of the cool things that we enjoyed. And so that's really cool. But the thing is, like, yeah, there's a lot of people that are saying that movie's not that great and the He-Man movie's not that great. But I know Brian over at Last Movie Standing said it was great. So it's just like, I don't know if it's like super just trendy to crap on a movie, and maybe that's what social media is for. But I don't know. It just seems like everybody hates on the new stuff, and I've been hating on it for a while. So I also don't feel like I'm a trendsetter. I just feel like I'm like, man, why do we got to hate on all this stuff? I was like, for me, I'm honest, but I don't make those. I guess my whole point is I don't make those rant videos. I've seen a bunch of those rant videos. TJ texted me the post that Brian posted about, you know, when he got out of the theaters of He-Man and how much he loved it. And I just responded with this video clip I found online. And I didn't even look for it. It just was in the Twitter feed. It was some guy screaming into a microphone and a camera and using the F word like all day. Like the entire video was filled with that, and like how much he hated it, and it was woke garbage and this, that, and the other thing. And I was just like, yeah, I was like, is it really just for clicks? Is it really bad? Like, I don't know. So I'm looking forward to diving into that stuff and finding out my own opinion. But I am curious, Arthur, what do you think of that? I know it was a little bit of a ranty tangent, but yeah, I just had to get that off my chest. It's been hitting me up for a little while. It's like everywhere I turn, like it's just like constant stuff. And I mean, you can be critical of anything, but like it's just that like over the top yelling into a camera over a movie. There's movies I've been disappointed by, and there's movies that were huge letdowns, especially in the modern era, and I've never once yelled into the camera. And I notoriously did not like Indiana Jones 5. And when I was doing a live stream years ago about it, and I didn't even, there was no ranting. I was able to break it down why I didn't like it. Like, so that's a crazy thing to me, just to scream into a camera over a movie. But everybody has their own flavor, I guess. Let's see. Here we go. Dead Poet Society is one of my favorite Robin Williams films. Now, if we can get Mrs. Doubtfire on 4K, nice. Yeah, that's what we're going to dive into it. So it was posted on Twitter from Dawn of the Discs that it's getting a whole new restoration from Disney Touchstone. So that's huge news, and it's going to be an easy pickup. I have that movie on VHS. I know it's had multiple Blu-rays. I only have the VHS, and I will be picking this up day one because of that. You know, if we can get more of it, I'm in. And then the other two things that I have in the thumbnail for this, Fox is attached, but so is MGM. So it's not 100% Fox, but it's still Disney attached. And some of the titles, I think, well, one of them at least was a Twilight Time. And so there's also that conversation of like being a Twilight Time collector, and those Blu-rays are long out of print. The business went out of, the company went out of business. And so people pay extra money to have some of those, but a lot of them have been getting re-releases. Now, I don't think everything's going to get a re-release, but if we can get the Hot Rock re-released in just a simple Blu-ray, I would be over the moon. But 4K would also be great. And so, yeah, give us more of that stuff for sure. Let's see. All I need of Howard the Duck is the 40th anniversary steelbook. I don't do DVDs or VHS. No, I totally get it, man. I was like, but me, I collect movies in general. So it's like, if you don't do it, that's fine. But I'm still watching old CRT television. And like last night, my wife and my kid were watching some TV show. I came in here and I turned on a VHS tape, and it's great quality for what it is. Like, I get it. If you don't want to put it on your 70-inch or 80-inch 4K television, I understand. But yeah, I like it. And then it's a little bit more than nostalgia. So with the Howard the Duck thing, it's 100% nostalgia. I love the film, but I didn't need the DVD with the slipcover and all that stuff. So I'm going to be collecting that type of stuff, but not everything. My top 5. And I've maintained that. There are a few titles that I will get other versions, but there's a reason. So like if we go to my in-laws, I bring my portable DVD player, so I keep some of those DVDs of my all-time favorite movies. And then 80s movie day, we watch movies on VHS tape on a CRT television, and so some of those I keep. But I have a whole box here of VHS I'm going to be going through because I got a video coming out talking about the retro movie formats and also selling stuff on eBay. So we're going to be talking about all that this week, I guess, and I'm going to be going through some of that stuff in there. Yeah. Let's see. Call me late to the party, but on the 9th, I'll be receiving the Ghostbusters Ultimate gift set with the light up ghost trap. Nice. That was an easy day one for me. I pre-ordered that thing, and I couldn't be more happy with it. And I've had it for years. When they came out a few years ago. So yeah, I love that. But I have taken it because like a lot of my box sets, I just keep together and I access them that way. But that one, because it's Ghostbusters, I actually removed them. I have the box on display up there out of the site. You can't even see it. But then the movies, they're on the shelf. So, we can watch them whenever and not have to worry about getting into that box. But yeah, definitely cool. I'm glad you're getting one, brother. Let's see. I've seen Masters of the Universe twice so far, and I loved it. Definitely recommend Dexter. Man, I'm stoked. I'm so stoked. And that's the thing is like that. I almost feel like if you're, and I'm not saying like anybody can react a certain way. Everybody deals with things differently. So I'm not even saying that that's a problem. But like if you're on social media and you're just screaming like into the camera over a film. Like I've just never had that, I've never had that mentality. And like, even in my own life, like before I ever turned on the camera, like if I don't like a film or it disappoints me, like I'll talk about it, but I'm not like yelling about it. Like I don't know. It's one of those things that just kind of, I'm not saying it's fake, but it just, seeing it so much, it just feels kind of fake. So yeah, I guess I am. I guess I'm calling that guy fake. That's what I'm doing. So I'm not here for internet drama, but it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way, I guess. But I also think it's funny. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely stoked about it. And that's the thing is like when you really boil it down. So when you understand movies and you watch movies from every era, that's where I get frustrated, because the thing is with the woke culture and that whole conversation, nobody knew it existed until they said so. And over the past decade or so, like that was a point of conversation, and they were pushing it a lot heavier. But you can go back and look at movies from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. It was always here. The jokes were always here. The weird stuff was always here. I was just watching a movie with from the 90s with I forget the name of it. Here and Then, or Here and Now. Anyway, it's with you got Christina Ricci and a bunch of other girls that were popular at the time, and then their kids, and then they grow up, and it's like Demi Moore and the girl that played oh wow, I forget them all. Anyway, so they grew up, and it was the other girls, and in that film, one of the girls was like talking about like not shaving and stuff, and like basically being liberal and all that. It was just a weird joke, and my wife was like, man, this stuff has just been here forever. And I'm like, yeah, it really has. And it's just one of those things. And you look at any movie from any era, you can find it. And the thing is, they just never hit it over the nail, or they never hit the nail on the head with it like they did over the past 10 years. And I've always said, like, if most people just chalk that up as like, oh, I have a neighbor like that. Oh, there's a guy at work like this. Like there was always somebody in your life that kind of had that kind of feeling. So it was just always there, but people don't realize that it was. And now this concert, like that was what the guy was yelling. The guy was yelling into the camera that it's the most woke thing he's ever seen. And I was like, I don't get that. But either way. But the one thing I did hear about it was like it did feel like multiple people had their hands in telling the story, and it wasn't like as cohesive. It just kind of felt like there was a lot of stuff going on. And that was just one reviewer's opinion, but I'm definitely stoked. There's a 4K coming out. I will be getting it because I do love Masters of the Universe. It's one of my all-time favorites. I grew up on the cartoon. I watched a lot of the She-Ra cartoons. I didn't watch them all, but like because it came after. And then afterwards, after those shows were completely over, I mean, I had the toys, I had all that stuff, but when the shows were completely over, then we got the Dolph Lundgren movie, and I've been watching that ever since, and I think that is awesome. So, and that also had its naysayers back then. There was time that people hated it, and I was like, it's fine. I love the movie. And so you always have that too. Like there's always going to be, fans that like it or don't like it. And then if it's based off of another property, like, go on, you look at any of the video game movies, man, that is like something, because then they're made to appeal to the masses, to get most people in the seats to see these movies. But it's the hardcore video game fans that are like super upset about them. And for the most part, I've enjoyed video games over the years, but for the most part, there hasn't been too many video game movies where I'm like, that wasn't fun, so like, yeah, I've enjoyed them. And yeah, we're going to be getting into that one too. Finally, Manhunter on 4K. I've been waiting for forever. Did we get a Blu-ray of that one? Just sorry you didn't get it's going to be Studio Canal. Too many permanent UK required category symbols. Wishing they would use stickers. Yeah, it all depends though, because if it gets a nice chunky box, then they do use stickers on some of those chunky boxes, and depending on what company puts it out. Because what is it? I'm pretty sure Never mind. I don't know. I know I have something that I got from the UK, and it was a chunky box, and it had stickers on it. The stickers came off nicely. But if it's just the regular standard, I totally get it. But you can print your own custom cover. That's always a thing. And just because it's coming out of Studio Canal, like they've done restorations for many things and then licensed that stuff out, and we've seen it from other companies. So I would say that Manhunter's probably going to get more than one release, and I wouldn't be shocked if we didn't get a Criterion eventually, because now that it's getting released, because that's always a conversation that comes up too. It's like, why are we getting this again? Because so and so company in such country just put this out. Well, once the restoration's done, then it's just easier for that other companies to spend a little bit of money and then put it out again and then give us the stuff than actually pumping hundreds of thousands of dollars. Depending on the title and the type of restoration, they can go, tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars to restore this stuff. When you really look into what it costs to restore it, it is astronomical. And so depending on the title, and then you have the other thing, like the licensing fees. So like from the studio, a lesser known title or something that the studio doesn't care for is going to have a much cheaper licensing fee than something that's really sought after. And so you have that conversation too. Why is this stuff not coming out? It's almost always cost. And the fact that Dead Poet Society, it's a well-regarded film. I would be shocked if it didn't get a Criterion. But either way, we're getting one. I'm stoked about it. But yes, what do we got? That fellow was a little intense over the hate. Yeah, right. The text message was ludicrous over the hatred of the movie. Hope he's doing well with the blood pressure was elevated. Yeah, it was. That's the only reason I kind of went on a tangent about it, because watch it. It's on YouTube. Like Nerdrotic posted about it. I just saw it in my feed. Like it was just there. And like it's just, I like to hate something that much. It's just like, it's weird. It's weird to me. Let's see. Beatboxing, morning, brother. Tempted to do a nice comedy haul for movies. Yeah, I've been getting a bunch of them lately. For Movies Unlimited right now, they have a decent discount on titles with the 15 off. Nice. Check that out. That's anytime you can save money, there's a sale. That's the best time to stock up. And even if you're not going to be able to watch everything right away, like I've been stocking up more, and a lot of people get confused because like I watch it eventually. Like they get confused and they just like they think it's hoarding behavior. But the thing is, like I used to go every Tuesday. And so I was going, and that was just to on new release day. But then there's Target, and there was Walmart, and so you had Best Buy, you had all these stores that carried physical media, and then then all of a sudden, like you go on Tuesday to your normal ones. Like I know a lot of people would hit them all up in the same day, but I would go on Tuesday to hit up wherever I was closest to, Circuit City or Best Buy, and then I would pick up my stuff. But then like later on in the week, I would still pick up stuff on the weekends. If I was grocery shopping, I would do a lot of grocery shopping at Walmart just to see what they had that I didn't get at Best Buy or Circuit City. And so, yeah, multiple times a week. But now you just put in one big order and it just comes all at once. And it's just, instead of spreading it out through the week, like it's just easier. I like it. But there's times where all of a sudden, like if you're getting like used stuff on eBay, who knows when it's coming in. And so then there's days where I have like a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, I do like it. Yeah, I never understand the actual rage over movies. Yeah, right. It's like either I like it or I don't like it. Like there's no rage. Like, and I've been disappointed. Like I was like super stoked about certain things, and then I leave and I'm like, this isn't great, or this sucks, or the modern movie problems. But yeah, it's one of those things. Like I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah. Now and then. That's the one. Now and then. 100%. Yeah, it is a good watch. As a fan of the Street Fighter game, I was city champion. Nice. And the 90s Street Fighter movie sucked. The thing is, like, I enjoyed it. And see, TJ sent it to me and I enjoyed it, and I watched it with my kid. Now, if you compare it to the game, I get it. I was never a champion, but I played the game enough. And so I get it. But there's a level of fun to it. So I've always like that one. I remove myself from the connection to the game, and it's just goofy. It's 90s. It's and to understand that Jean-Claude Van Damme was coked out of his mind through the whole entire film. Like I've heard that so many times, and so I feel it has to be true because the amount of times I've heard it. I think that makes the film more fun for me. But yeah, I totally get it. Totally get it. Let's see. I'm not a big fan of too many video game adaptations. Yeah, I mean, some people are and some people aren't. Like so that one I get you on the Street Fighter one. But the newest Mortal Kombat, I thought it was definitely better than the first one that just came out a few years ago. And so it was different and it was more faithful to the game. It felt better. It felt more fun. My only dilemma with it was they used a lot of actors instead of actual martial artists. And I've said this before. So all the choreographed fighting, some of it felt really good, but then some of it felt really slow. And like it was just this choreographed dance and you could see it. And so they didn't do anything to even try to speed it up. And not every single one of them, but a few of the fights were like that. And I just can't unsee that. And so that was my thing with that one. But as far as like the movie goes, I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, TJ loves that movie. Let's see. Was it Tom Connors? He's a hardcore He-Man. Yeah, Tom. He-Man fan apparently. Yeah, because that's what I don't know who it was, but like it just the post said Tom hates this film, and then it was him screaming over it. And it wasn't like anything like, so if I hate something, I'll tell you why, and I'll pick it apart and I'll just dissect it 100%. I won't just blanketly say, unless we're just having a conversation like this, I'm like, oh, I hated it. Like if I was doing an actual review or something like that, I explain why I don't like it. And that was just a constant screaming and yelling and just saying that it was the most woke piece of trash in modern history, and without actual giving examples and it totally could be, but it's just at the same time it felt flat but crazy at the same time. But yeah, Tom, it was Tom. See, the yellow imprint release of Kill Bill volume 1 and 2 came back in stock at Walmart for $167. I might have it up. Let's see. I might have it up to that this month too. Nice. Got the lenticular slip, Nice. Well, yeah, I hope you grab one, brother. And yes, Seth says, well, the fact that it's Raul Julia's final film gives it a little more emotion when watching. Also, kind of how people are rewatching Buffy now. Yeah, like the thing is, like I'm telling you, when I was a kid, I kind of passed it. I remember seeing bits and pieces of that Street Fighter movie, and it just kind of wasn't for me. And then TJ sent it to me, and I watched it with my kid. And so watching it with that perspective, like it changed my whole mentality because my kid loved it and I set aside the whole video game connection. But yeah, I was like, well, and when I watched it too, I didn't like have that in the back of my mind that it was Raul Julia's last film. But at the time when it came out, like I remember going, oh man, that's his last film. And there's been a few actors that are like that too, that just kind of their last film just seems to be an odd one. But yeah, that one I don't know. I was at the time, and probably because I wasn't super into Street Fighter when I was a kid. I played it a bunch of times. My friends had it, but I was super into Mortal Kombat. So when that movie came out, I couldn't get enough of it. And the Street Fighter one, I just was easy to pass on because it didn't look like the game. And so there was that. But yeah, as an adult, I had fun with it. And Helpless Heroes. Good morning, brother. What are you planning on watching today? Well, I actually don't have a plan. So today I have some the You Picked It series. So I've been pushing that off. I've been waiting on some stuff, and then I've just had other videos and things coming up. I have this pile here, and I've gotten through most of it. And so I have a few things I have to get through, and the plan is to get that video out tomorrow. And so I don't know if I'm going to get it out tomorrow, but the plan is to get it out tomorrow. And then tomorrow I was going to do the member only live stream 8:00 my time tomorrow night. That's the plan. So I'm not sure. So I do have a few things in there I have to finish watching for the You Picked It series. If not, that video will be out this week. And I've been saying that for a while, but I know I have free time. We're not doing anything, and so I'm good to go. And it's going to be like 90 degrees here today, so we actually finally turned the air conditioner on, and I don't think we're leaving the house at all. So yeah, that's that. What am I watching? I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm going to spend some time in here. I'm going to have the VHS going. I'm going to have the CRT going, and that back wall there with my VHS. There's some things that I got to move in and out, and so trying to keep that entire section of VHS just dedicated to films that I'm never going to get rid of. To me, they hold higher value. Like, I don't necessarily know if they have a monetary value. I don't care about that. Those are the ones that mean something to me. So I want to have that there. And I've been getting a lot more of the horror stuff and things that are harder to find on VHS. And that's what I want to focus on. So I have a whole box here. And while I'm doing that, I might as well be watching a VHS tape. So there's that. And I don't know. I have a whole pile here. I know 13 Ghosts is at the top of the list because I don't have the Blu-ray. I thought I picked it up, but I don't have it. And so I'll probably rewatch that again because I think I want to get that Blu-ray. Let's see. Blue Corner. Morning, brother. I like Carl Urban, but him as Johnny Cage was a miscast. Yeah. I wasn't like I said, like I thought it was fine. I thought it was more faithful to the game than anything else. But like for me, there was things that just suffered. I'm not going to end up buying the new Mortal Kombat stuff. I didn't buy the last one. Because the last one I just wasn't super into it. But yeah, I get it. If you love it, get it. I see beatboxing. I used to watch Buffy every day before school. Yeah, that was one I was always working at that time. I was a teenager and I always like had a after school job. And so then by the time I get home and sometimes I would just crash out and go to bed. And so Buffy is one where I didn't catch it regularly, but I enjoyed it. And I actually have 3 of the episodes on VHS back there. And I have like the first season. I have 2 seasons of it. I'm not sure exactly what season they have. I have the first season and maybe the third. I got to double check because we've watched the entire first season and then that's it. We stopped because I think I'm missing season 2. I think that's it. But yeah, that was something that I'm just, like I said, I always watched a few episodes here and there when I could, but we're just now getting into the entire series and I've enjoyed it. But without that other season, I think we're just kind of forgetting about it. Let's see. Legally Blonde, School of Rock, Step Brothers. I just picked up School of Rock the other day. Step Brothers, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I don't have that one on Blu-ray. I have the VHS somewhere, and like that's it. And so that's one I want to revisit. Maybe I'll pick that one up this month. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou was a good one. Talladega Nights, just picked that up. Spy Kids, never saw that one. I was a little too old for that one, and then my kids never got into it. Probably going to be my movie unlimited order. Still looking around. Nice. That's a good order. I just picked up Talladega Nights. I know we're getting the 4K Steelbook, but I'm skipping out on the Steelbook. I was happy to get the Blu-ray for $11, brand new from Amazon, completely sealed, and it looked beautiful. I mean, there's definitely some room for improvement. Doing a 4K restoration would be great, but watching it on any of my other TVs, even the budget 4K TV, Talladega Nights looks fantastic. On the OLED, I do see a little room for improvement, but for $11, I'm happy for sure. Let's see. Your recent video grabbing Talladega Nights and School of Rock got me thinking, just grab them. I don't need 4Ks. Yeah, that was my thought process. And it's just like they're cheap and maybe they'll go out of print and maybe we'll get them and maybe we won't. Well, obviously we're getting the 4K Steelbook. That's one that's going to go out of print. It's going to be expensive. And so, yeah, I'm happy to get that Blu-ray. So yeah, there's that. Let's dive into some of the stuff we're here to talk about today. So I have this pulled up. So we have some of these. Where's this down here? All right. Let me find that window. So yeah, so my plan was to hook this up to the TV and then have this big screen. Now I'm stuck with this little screen because of my stupid glasses, and it just reflected the entire thing. But now that we're in here, let's see. Am I sharing the screen now? Let me put this away. Okay, yeah, we're sharing this now. All right, so Dawn of the Discs is reporting a bunch of this stuff. Now, this one here, The Man Who Would Be King, I have this on VHS. It has an imprint version. I didn't get that imprint version. And now it's coming out with a new 4K restoration. Now, it's a fantastic film. You have Christopher Plummer, but you have Sean Connery in this film. And it's a movie where there's these British soldiers. They're ex-British soldiers. They go to India to in some kind of weird land to become kings. And it's an adventure. It's an adventure action movie. So it's definitely worth a watch. But this is getting a restoration, a 4K restoration. It actually was restored in 2025 by Sony, and it's coming to 4K soon. So that's something to look forward to. And it's from the 35 millimeter negative. So that's awesome if you like that film. But then let's skip down here to all this stuff. This one here is just a weird image. I've never seen that. But anyway, back to here. We have the Jeff Chandler, Jack Palance, Martin Carroll, or Martine Carroll, 10 Seconds to Hell. So this is something that I would pick up from 1959, restored in 4K in 2026 by Hammer Films. That would be an easy pickup for me. But after 1945, 6 German ex-soldiers are hired to defuse unexploded Allied bombs in the ruins of Berlin. That's something that's right up my alley. It's old cinema. I'm a big fan. So I'm interested in that. I don't know if it's a day one, but I do want it. But as we get into here, this is a fan favorite that's going to be coming to 4K. So Young Frankenstein, 1974, Mel Brooks, restored in 4K in 2021 by the Walt Disney Studios. And so this is why I want to talk about this, because we're getting this. We're getting it in 4K. An American grandson of the infamous scientist struggling to prove that his grandfather's Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein. And so this is a fan favorite. It's fun. I enjoy it. I do have this, and I'll probably be picking this one up again because it's a Disney-owned title, Disney property. So yeah, let's support that. If we're going to be getting more of it, yes. And so the restoration was done in 2021, so I'm sure that was put out on streaming, but now we're getting this. So more than likely, it's whatever it looks like on streaming is going to look like on your disc, but a little bit better because you don't have the streaming compression. So that's going to be an easy pickup for me. And I don't even care if it's just a studio. Hopefully, hopefully it's not a steelbook only. That is one of the things that's going to be very bothersome if that's a thing. But more than likely, it probably is going to be. But then we have this Dead Poet Society. This is one I'm going to pick up no matter what. And restored in 4K in 2025 by the Walt Disney Studio Picture Shop and Disney Digital Studio Service Laboratories from the original 35 millimeter acetate negative and the 35 millimeter LCR magnetic sound. So yeah, Dead Poet Society is going to be huge. It's a fan favorite. This one gets mentioned a ton, not as much as some of the other ones because there have been releases of this. There's been several Blu-rays, I believe, but this is a movie that I do need in my collection and something more than a beat up old VHS. So yeah, this is going to be an easy pickup for me for sure. And there's that one. And then Ali the Fighter. This is one I never saw. So 1974, The Fighter, restored for the Criterion Collection or by the Criterion Collection for the New York Public Library, the Film Foundation, Metropolis Post. Yeah, so that's something I would probably check out. And here we go. So I just recently got the imprint box set here, and it included the David Lynch Wild at Heart. The Blu-ray is fantastic, but this here, now that we're getting a restored 4K, I'm not going to double dip. I'm happy with the Blu-ray set, but restored in 4K in 2026 by Universal Pictures and the Criterion Collection at Resilience Laboratory or Resilient Laboratory from the 35 millimeter negative. So this seems like we're going to be getting a Criterion of this, which is incredible because this is a, you know, David Lynch. People love David Lynch, and this is a fan favorite. So, and when Imprint announced it was going to be part of their After Dark box, I know there was a ton of people that were losing their minds over that. So I think that if this goes to Criterion, which it seems like it's gonna, people are going to lose their minds over that one. And then here we go. This is one I just talked about because I did, you know, the best films of 1986, and Manhunter was on that list because I love the film. I have it on VHS. It has had other releases, but I don't think we got a Blu-ray. Like we might have, but I just don't think we did. And the fact that we're getting a 4K now, I'm going to be picking that up. That's an easy pickup. It's an underrated film that doesn't get talked about. Anytime people talk about Hannibal Lecter or Silence of the Lambs or any of those, and they talk about the franchise, that just kind of gets forgotten about by most people. Not everybody, but it's something that's going to be an easy day one pickup for me. And another one I hope is not a steelbook only option, but this one is coming from by Studio Canal. And so, yeah, more. He's got a sound mix with that. Yeah, I'm not sure. Looking forward to it either way, but I expect a lot more anniversary editions are coming out. We're going to be talking about that. I don't need that. Dolly, not for me. Disclosure Day, I could care less. Blades of Guardians. I might want to check that out. That's a new movie. Is this new stuff? Coming to 4K. Okay, in August. Yeah, that's something I want to pick up for sure. Blades of the Guardians. I'm down. and Scary Movie. I want to know. I'm not going to blind buy this one. I got to hear what it is. I only have the first one on VHS. Like that's where I stand with it, and it's been such a long time since I've seen the second one. And I got to get them. I got to get them. That's what I got to do. But I don't necessarily know if I need that one. But they're making a lot of claims that this one's going to be the best. It's getting a ton of buzz, and I don't know. I'm curious because in this modern cinema where people have complained about it and they don't make movies like that anymore, and this is a film that falls into that category. When you look at the scary movies, like that first one and second one, they don't really make films like that anymore. And you're getting the band back together again with this one. I'm very intrigued. So I would like to see it, but I've never even seen the third, fourth, or fifth one. So, I mean, I don't know if I need to see them either. I think we're there on that. So let's close that out. All right. So we got that. And let's dive into the chat before we dive into the other new announcements. But those are the things that I was super stoked for because they're fan favorites. And the thing is, Wild at Heart is a Fox title, but also MGM's attached, or they're both labels are on the back cover of Wild at Heart. And Manhunter is the same thing. Fox is attached, but so is MGM. And so there's always been that conversation. We're getting more of that stuff. But there was a lot of Twilight Time films that were put out in the past that a lot of the Fox stuff wasn't just solely Fox. It was Fox and MGM. And if we're going to get a lot more of that stuff, just because MGM's attached, like I'm all in, because some of those Twilight Time films that I never got back in the day are so expensive. And so re-releases, I'm all in. And it's just, I think it's not a Wild West, but I think it's a new age in physical media collecting with all of the conversation. Like you can't tell me the studios aren't aware that young Gen Z is buying VHS and DVDs again, and seeing this with physical media and maybe putting more of this stuff out. Because they're not making any money off the VHS that's being sold secondhand or DVDs or all that other stuff that people are finding in thrift stores. They're going to make money off the restorations. And so a lot of that stuff was put on streaming, and, we're seeing it. Like the one restoration was done in 2021, and that was on streaming, and we're now getting a release. I think we're going to get a lot more of it for sure. All right, let's see. Let me get in here. Let's see. All right. Wow, a bunch of announcements. Yeah, tons of great stuff. And that stuff is like the stuff from Dawn of the Discs, which always ends up coming true. But then it's like, when are we getting it? So like, I'm looking forward to it. So those are the announcements that usually get like categorized as rumors, but they're solid. But yeah, super stoked about that. But yeah, all the other stuff, we're going to do the official ones as well. Let's go more Mel Brooks on 4K. Yeah, with the whole new Spaceballs Part 2 coming out, like I expect more of that stuff coming as well. Like that's something that they used to do and they kind of forgot about with streaming, and that was the general focus, was if there was any kind of remake, reboot, anything of some kind of film, they were putting out the original, because no matter what, you're getting new fans and even old fans that are just trying to go back to the original or trying to get that stuff. And so it was just a way to sell more stuff. You would see it a ton where there'd be anniversary issues and there'd be that. And that's why it's kind of weird. Like they're putting out a lot of anniversary issue movies this year, but they're not announcing it. They're not making it a big deal. And it always used to be. And so we're getting that type of stuff. But the fact that Spaceballs coming out, we're getting Young Frankenstein on 4K. That's awesome. And you can't tell me that somebody somewhere was like, hey, maybe we should try to get more of that stuff and piggyback off of it, because they've always done it. And they just kind of put a pause over the past decade. Let's see. I have the Shout Blu-ray of Wild at Heart. Nice that the Criterion pretty much has all of the Lynch films now. Yeah, it's like, it's a great film, and like I said, I think the Blu-ray is fine, so I'm going to be good on that one. But yeah, it's one, if you love the film, you're a Criterion collector, there's probably going to be stuff in there that you're going to want to have, and yeah, Criterion's always good. let's see. What do we got? Darren G. I prefer Manhunter to Silence of the Lambs personally. I like them both, but I would say I probably prefer it as well. It's definitely my go-to. I've in the past, and I have the Criterion. I never did all the upgrades when all the other 4Ks and all that stuff came out. I think I just have just the standard Blu-ray from Criterion, Silence of the Lambs, and I've seen it 3 times since I've had it, and maybe the past couple years. And Manhunter, I've probably seen it once a year, for the up until probably about 5 years ago. I was watching it like once a year. And so I've seen it a lot more, definitely seen it a lot more. But in the past 5 years, I kind of missed out. It's my younger kid was always around. It was one of those things like never in the mood to watch it. And then everybody goes to bed, and then I'm in the mood to go to bed myself. So yeah, that's one. I'll probably watch it sooner. Again sooner. But I just recently rewatched it, and fun one. Definitely a fun one. Manhunter had 2 US Blu-rays. Okay, that's one. I only had it on VHS, and so I just kind of always thought it was stuck there, or stuck on DVD at least, because nobody ever talked about it. Blades of the Guardian, Jet Li back in the movies. Yeah, I'm super stoked about that one for sure. And Shout did Manhunter on Blu-ray. Okay, I just missed out. I missed out, guys. I missed out, and I'll be getting this 4K unless it's Steelbook only. And then I might have to get that Shout version. It's crazy as a movie collector. Many of you guys are so against Steelbooks, it boggles my mind. Well, that's the thing, is I come from being a movie collector for almost 3 decades. And Steelbooks are more of a newer thing. And when they were around, they were very limited and special edition. And now it's just all that we get. I don't know what's going on with my VCR back there. But it's all we get now is Steelbook only, and then we're being charged a premium price. And so back in the day, we had all these different options and different box sets, and I thought that was cooler. This is just a standard format. They're just like, this is what they make, they put it out, and then they charge X amount of dollars, and it's just it's very fragile. Some of the artwork is great, but some of it isn't that great, and so it was one of those things that over the years I've just hated it. It was never for me. And then I did start getting into some Steelbooks, but having a family, having kids are rough on stuff. I hadn't had a Steelbook in my collection that wasn't scratched or dinged or dented. And then I started putting them in the protector cases. And even then, like once you go to take it out, now you got a protector case, and still you got kids and other people handling this stuff. I've seen them go flying out of the protector case as they're trying to get it open. And so yeah, it's not for me. If it stays in this room and it's in a giant chunky box and it's a special limited edition, like, yeah, different story. But when it's just the standard Steelbook only that's going to go out there on the shelf with everything else, I would rather just have a regular version and not be charged X amount of dollars. Now, I like collector sets, but the thing is, it's just a collector set, and not every movie has to come out in a collector set. And I am one that I have almost 4,000 movies now. And so if I had every single movie that I owned in a special edition collector set, then nothing is special anymore. And that's how I feel about the Steelbooks. If everything's a Steelbook, then it's just, that's the standard now. Like the set, like this is, I mean, I get that this was from Japan, but this set here is different. We don't get, this is hard plastic slipcase with all the stuff in here. We don't get things like this. We're getting constantly the same format over and over and over again. And I like different things. Like up there, I have, like, you can't even see off the camera there, but I have the Scarface box set, which it looks like the alligator cigar set. And that was for the old DVD there. That's another thing too. They do come damaged. There's so many times, especially like the Amazon stuff, it gets shipped horribly. Like I just got the Lionsgate Rambo set, and it came damaged because it was shipped to me in a bag, and it was an Amazon exclusive. So it's not like I could have got it somewhere else. And so it was shipped horribly. And there's so many times that has happened to me, and it's frustrating. I had almost 650 Steelbooks, and I stopped, and I ain't going back. Yeah, I'm not. Like very rarely will I will. And I would prefer. And then recently, in the like when they have gotten a steelbook only of a movie I had to have, I would get that movie and then I would put it in the protector case. And then once they released the regular version, I was buying the regular version because now the steelbook version is I could either sell it if I wanted to, or it's a display piece, and that's what I would rather have it. Because like some of the artwork is great, and I'm not going to lie, but there's been a lot of artwork on steelbooks that are very lackluster and still being charged a premium price for. I guess I'm lucky because I haven't received any steelbooks damaged. Well, you are lucky. I'm telling you, when I lived in Virginia, it was worse, but I've still gotten damaged stuff here. Just my Lionsgate one, which wasn't a steelbook, just got damaged. But like right before I moved, I got Bram Stoker's Dracula on 4K, the steelbook, and because that's the only way you can get Dolby Vision, and so somebody was like super stoked about it, so I got it. And it came to me completely crushed, like bent, and that's how it showed up in just a simple bubble mailer. And I was just like, it's so frustrating. But yeah, I'm glad you're happy with it, man. Young Frankenstein may be Disney property now, but it's a Fox title. So still, if Disney will release it, I'm all in. Yeah, no, I get it's a Fox title, but Disney's in charge, and Disney did the restoration, and there's that. And if they're putting it out, I am all in. And I expect a steelbook, but I hope that there's other options. I just do. But I'll be getting that one because I just want to support. I want to support Disney putting out more stuff. I have like 20 steelbooks max. I only get them when I have a like or I only get them when I have to like for Monty Python, Holy Grail, or Tron. Yeah, so when you have to get them and that's the only option, I get it. And there's certain movies, but my steelbook collection, I have some leftovers. I got rid of a lot of it because they were just like getting damaged. They were scratched. It was just horrible. It wasn't fun anymore. But the few that I kept were because those are some of my all-time favorite movies. I love the artwork, and I put those in protector cases, and there's that. But again, like, people always say, why don't you just have them in a protector case? I don't have my phone in a protector case. Like, I don't think it belongs there. Like, it should be able to just handle it and use it. And then I have seen steelbooks go flying across the room of people trying to open them. And, it was like, it happens. Like, kids are clumsy. It sucks. And so it's just, for me, I'd rather save some money. But yeah. With all these great films coming to 4K, there goes my money. Yeah, it's really there. Let's see. I've taken out loans to buy many of my movie collector box sets. Yeah, there's some of them are very expensive. Let's see. I think Shout has Manhunter Blu-ray release. Well, I will keep that in mind if that's a 4K steelbook only. I don't know. Like, that one depends because it's the MGM and Fox, so maybe I don't need that one day one. But the Dead Poet Society, 100% need that one day one. Saying I hate when I see a standard edition only offered to foreign countries. Yeah, and I have imported those foreign country releases, and it usually comes in, if you get it day one here in America, it's around the same amount. And so, like, I'm not spending any more money, and I'm getting, or maybe it's $1 or $2 more, and I'm getting what I actually wanted. So yeah, it kind of sucks that it should have been cheaper. It was the only option, but in my head, it's better than not. And so if it was a day one, if it wasn't a day one purchase and I can wait, hopefully I'll get one later, one of those things, and maybe it'll come around again. But Panic Room is the one I regret. I talk about it all the time. Steelbook only, and then every release all across the world, that's what they got. And it's curious that maybe that caused an issue too, because since then, the Sony Disney releases that have been put out, other countries are getting, like the Fight Club. Fight Club got a release in every country, but we're the only ones, I think, that are one of the few that got a steelbook only, but I'm able to get the regular standard edition from France. So, it's weird. It's weird. And Video Pro. Good morning, brother. Good morning, brother. How's that room coming along? For me, collecting is all about options. Yeah, that's the thing, is because then if we're all buying the same thing, then you're not really collecting. You're just buying. And you can argue it any which way you want. But if you don't have choices and it's a movie you want to watch, that's why I go to those retro movie formats. I will happily get a version of my favorite movie on an older format because it's a collection and it's my collection and it reflects me. And I also come from this era where I worked at the video store and I grew up in the 80s and 90s and I had the VCR tapes and I was, early adopter of DVD. And so I like those formats. And so there's maybe a little nostalgia there, but if we're just going to get constant cranked out of the 4K only stuff at the higher prices, I'm happy to get a VHS, and I'm not going to lie. And the thing is, if I was only watching VHS or DVD on the 4K TV, I could see it. But I have this much smaller budget 4K TV here, and DVDs look pretty good on there. But on the older TVs, and I purposely got the older TVs so I can enjoy the older formats because to me it's more fun. I got a lot of options. Yeah. Somebody compared me to Ken the other day, and I was like, I don't think Ken does this, but like somebody called me a whiner, a complainer because I wanted options, like, and they called me Ken. It's just like, okay, I want options. Like, I don't want to just give you my money blindly and take what I don't want it. I don't like it. It's not for me. And it's the same thing, like the big, giant, expensive collector sets aren't for everybody. So you shouldn't have to be forced to buy it if that's what you want. And eventually other stuff should get released again. And that's also the conversation. So yeah, just options for sure. Dark Cloud, I don't need 4,000 movies. I just want my shelf. I just want on my shelf the movies that I relate with. Yeah, well, I always wanted the library. That was the thing, as I come from that background. But I have an eclectic movie taste, and so it's more than just movies I relate with. Basically, if I can't find a way to relate to the movie, it doesn't stay in the collection. But I love movies, and I love movies from all eras. And so I get the same, and I've said this before, I get the same enjoyment out of an old silent black and white film, like an Abbott and Costello film. I can watch an Abbott and Costello film and get the exact same enjoyment out of watching Masters of the Universe. Like, they're completely different feels, they're different vibes, they're different eras. You got black and white, you got modern CGI, you got practical effects. They're so different, but I leave with the exact same experience. A smile on my face, a good time. And so I have that with so many movies. That's the thing. I get that not this amount of movies isn't for everybody, but it's always been about having choices. And like, there's days where I come in here and I'm in a mood to watch a certain film, and like just having that choice and being able to watch something else or share that with somebody else is huge. But then also having the family, and they have their own favorite movies and their own choices. And so some of their favorites aren't my favorites. There's that. If it was just me, I would still have a big collection, but I probably wouldn't have half of the Disney movies we have. Like, I would have more of the live action, older 1960s stuff, but I wouldn't have all of the animated cartoon ones. I think, like, if I were to really boil it down, there's like the ones I grew up watching when I was a kid. So you got Beauty and the Beast, you got Little Mermaid. I would probably have those. And then, but like my favorite one is Wall-E. I have the Criterion, and I think it's a Pixar anyway. And like in the Stitch movie, I like the Stitch movie. Like, so I would probably only have like 4 Disney movies, period, in my collection if I didn't have a family. And we have them all. We have all the animated ones up to a certain point. We don't have a lot of the newer ones because my kid never got into them. Let's see. They tend to get rust. Depending on where you live in the country. So right now I live in a dry climate area, which is horrible, but I came from a humid place. I came from Virginia, which was extremely humid. It was great for my plants. It was great for a lot of things, but it definitely, I didn't have that per se, but I did go to thrift stores, and I bought a lot of my gear from thrift stores over the years. And there have been times when I'd open up a VCR to clean it and it would just be rusty inside. I'm like, how does this happen? But it's a humid area and temperature swings, and depending on how it was stored, and I get it. Yeah. So it was like, I could 100% see it happening, and I've seen it in the wild. I've just never seen it in my own collection. But in this place here I live, super dry climate, and so I don't think I'll have an issue there. But when I lived in Virginia, it was a huge deal. feel like they damage the steelbooks on purpose. Yeah, I think they do. I think there's a guy at Amazon that just smashes them all before they get sent out, and that's how I feel, because like every single time I get one, I've never gotten one from Amazon that was in the best possible condition. And after, sometimes I have to send it back and eventually get one, but yeah, it's just not that great. And for a while, they were sending some of those nicer things in a box. And so it was this weird box where it had like a cardboard tray on the inside, and then the movie would go in and you'd open it in a certain way. And that was nice, but that only happened around the holidays, around Christmas time. And then since then, pretty much all of the movies, especially anything with a premium attached to it, has been coming in either the big giant bag or the little bubble mailer stuff that gets squashed all the time anyway. Let's see. Sorry about your Rambo box set. 80s, that's a bummer, dude. Amazon shipped mine securely in a box with bubble. I should have taken a picture. It was in the big brown bag. There was no padding. There was no nothing. And the bag was oversized. It was ridiculous. And, I expected the corners to be dinged up. That's usually what happens, but it was right in the spine in the center on the cover. It's smushed. It's like something fell on it or whatever. And it could have happened at any point, but that's how it was shipped. And it's ridiculous. But it's like one of those things. Like that one, I'm glad I got it. It's one of those things. It's like super hard to find, but it's not my all-time favorite packaging. It's not my all-time. I don't know if I'm going to actually get rid of my 4K standards. I have those on the shelf, and they take up a good amount of room. And so that was the appeal to getting that box. And it's a nice display piece. It would go up here nicely with the boutique stuff over here where you don't get to see anymore. It would go nicely on that shelf. And so there's that. But then compare how I open it, everything about it. I don't know if I love that packaging. It's different. It's unique. It's definitely a display piece. And so it's got all that going for it. But to actually feasibly go to watch movies, I think I might just keep going back to my shelf. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that one. It was kind of sucky that it was damaged, but at the same time, I don't know if I love it enough to put it on display either. So it might be something that gets given away at some point or whatever. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I never bought it to flip it. I'm not one of those guys. And so it would be something I would probably, at this point, the way it is, and understanding that it has damage, I would probably have it for a trade. If somebody had something really cool that they wanted to trade, and they really wanted that set, I would probably trade it. That's at the point where I'm at with that one. But I did need it. I did think it was going to be special, and I wasn't super thrilled with it. Let's see. Oh wow, yeah. Manhunter Shout Blu-ray is $100. I think I'll wait for this 4K and see what happens. And I also got a video talking about buying and used media and all that type of stuff. So I got that coming out, and I have a point of conversation about that stuff with the overpriced movies that are coming out, Hold Out, and we'll talk about it. But I suspect that's going to go down rock bottom prices. It may not, because sometimes there are people that put stuff on eBay like that at $100 that are in the movie world. They're into collecting. They understand. And so they know that a 4K is coming out and there's a new release and there's that. But then there's just the flippers that throw it up there. They forget about it and hope it sells one day, and then they'll just package it. And then they never go back to change the price. And so sometimes you see these crazy prices on stuff when new Blu-rays have come out or new 4Ks have come out, and you're like, why is it still that price? Now, Dogma was one where the majority of them dropped in price, but there was still a couple when the 4K was announced that there was still a couple of them $80, $100, and I was just but then a bunch you can get for $20. And I finally found one in the wild this year after years of looking for that Blu-ray. Found one in the wild, and they were still asking $25 for the used Blu-ray, and the 4K is coming. And so I'm going to hold out still. I still have my VHS, but I'm holding out. Here we go. So frustrating when releases limited titles like Rambo box set talk about feeding FOMO. Yeah, the thing is the collector sets always were limited, but they didn't. It was a different way. They would just kind of show up. You never knew they existed. One of my most prized possessions, and it's over there, is the Lord of the Rings library set, and it's an actual library set. The cases for the movies, all 6 movies are there. So you got The Hobbit, you got Lord of the Rings. Each movie is in a leather-bound book, and you open it up, and that's where the discs are. There's multiple discs, they're extended. There's tons of cool stuff, and it's in a hard wooden shelf display where the books sit on it, and the thing looks beautiful. And it was brand new. I didn't pay this. I got it on clearance through Best Buy because I found it by accident, and it was $800. When the price tag of it was like $795 brand new. And so I did not pay that. I got it, but I still paid more than a car payment. It was still crazy, and probably one of the most expensive things I ever bought. You can get it used now on eBay around $500. Like, that's where I usually keep seeing it for. And it's in this big, ridiculous, like, shipping box, and it's huge and heavy and nice. Collector sets used to exist, but nobody talked about it back then. And so it almost feels like it's advertising. So we get excited, we look for it, we see the post, we talk about it, and then everybody's aware of it. But the thing is, none of that stuff is for everybody, but everybody sees it. And so you have that whole conversation. So yeah, it does feed the FOMO. And the thing is, the Rambo set, if we were talking brick and mortar stores and that's how people were still buying things, that would just show up in the stores. And if you saw that and it was $100 and you wanted to take it home, and it was one of those things, it was just like random stumble across it. Oh, I love Rambo, I need this. It was never one of those things that was just constantly talked about or added or had that. And so we do give ourselves that FOMO, but at the same time, like, if we don't do it, the scalpers are throwing it on eBay and then making it even worse. So I totally get it, but the stuff always existed. It's just now we live in the social media era, which changes everything about it. Because like now it's because I'm collecting the retro formats. Now I'm going back and I'm finding really cool VHS collector sets and box sets and DVD sets that I never knew existed. I got coming 2 Star Wars box sets with the VHS tapes inside, and I never saw those in my life. And that's kind of cool that you can get stuff on social media or on eBay now. But if we had social media back in the 90s, all that stuff would be like skyrocketed and scalped up way back when. Yeah. Let's dive back into the other stuff that's coming out that I'm excited for. Let's see. We have this. Where's that? Oh, here it is. Okay, so down here we have this movie. So In the Gray. So Black Bear, which is, I guess, a new label or a new studio or something. Guy Ritchie, In the Gray is heading to Blu-ray. And so Black Bear and somebody else. Oh, Black Bear and Universal Pictures is putting this out. But on the spine, it says Black Bear. So I'm just assuming it's a new studio or his studio or something. So this movie, I don't know what it's about, but a Guy Ritchie film. I haven't seen a Guy Ritchie film like... I haven't seen a new Guy Ritchie film in the past couple of years. And so if he's made anything, I've kind of skipped it. I do like his movies. This will be an easy pickup for me. Jake Gyllenhaal, Henry Cavill. Yeah. Written and directed by Guy Ritchie. I'm all in because I'm hoping it just has like, Guy Ritchie is a filmmaker that was up in the early 2000s that I was finding all of his movies and I was all excited about it. And so if it has those kind of feel and that kind of older movie making feel, I'm all in. So yeah, I haven't seen this. I haven't seen the trailer. I don't know if it's worth getting, but I'm excited just by who's attached to it. So there's that one. I'm going to skip this. And so I watched it. I think it's fine. I think it's a one and done. I don't need it. The Steelbook is kind of cool. I did play these games a ton when I was a kid. I'm still playing these games with my kid. We have the old Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, and we have all that stuff, and we collect those old games, and we don't have all of them, but we have a couple of the Mortal Kombats on Super Nintendo, and like that, just seeing Shao Kahn like that, I was like, oh, it's all in, or Shao Kahn, or however you say his name. I'm excited. But again, I don't need it, but I think it's a pretty cool looking Steelbook for what it is. The special effects were great. I think the story was fun. It's just for me, it was, I don't need to go back and revisit it, but it is coming out and you are getting options, which is great. You're getting a 4K, you're getting a Blu-ray, and you're getting a Steelbook. So there's something for everybody coming out of Warner Brothers, and that is exciting. So if you love it, obviously that's the way to go. The Michael movie, I haven't seen this. I don't know if I need to see it. Lionsgate, my daughter's a huge fan, so she thinks that she needs to see it, but you are getting a ton of options here. So you're getting looks like a couple couple steel books here. Or what was this? Big chunky box sets? What is this? Lionsgate exclusive steelbook, but they're also printing the ugly banner in little letters on the steelbook, which then takes away from the steelbook. That's kind of silly, unless it's in a box. But yeah, this 4K UHD Blu-ray digital right on that. If that's the steelbook, it looks like it might be a chunky box. If that's a chunky box, then that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. But if it's just the standard steelbook, then it's not. But it's cool. They're putting it out. And so there's two different versions. So this one's the Walmart exclusive steelbook, again with that stamped up there. I don't know how I feel about that if that's the standard. I hate the banners. And that was kind of the appeal to getting a steelbook. But the fact that the Blu-ray and the 4K have the little tiny banners up here, that I don't hate. It's minimal. It doesn't take away from the artwork as much as the other stuff used to. And so you're getting it. And yeah, I don't know. I'm probably like saying I'm not going to get it. But I know my kid wants to see this so bad, so we probably will be getting it. There's that. Now here, Scream Factory is announcing this one. So we got all these announcements here. But this movie, Radiance Films put out a big giant chunky box, and somebody recommended this to me, and then I kind of forgot about it. So I don't know if that's available anymore. But the Stuntman is something that's been on my radar. So if the Radiance Films one isn't available, maybe I'll go this route and pick up a Shout Factory or Shout Select. I haven't picked up one. I haven't bought any Shout stuff, anything since they switched over to the group shipping. So yeah, I'll have to check that out. This movie, School on Fire. I don't know if I need it. I have to check it out. But it's coming from Hong Kong Cinema Classics from Shout. So more than likely other companies are going to be picking this up. So I can wait and see what happens there. But yeah. I might have to check this one out. I don't know if I need it. What does it say? A student witnesses a triad beating and is pressured by the cops to teachers testify against the attackers. Oh, that sounds fun. Yeah, I might need that one. So one's coming out, and then Street Racer. This is now coming out. Shout Factory in August is getting a nice, looks like a little chunky box set here. I'm still waiting on my UK version. I thought it was supposed to ship, but it hasn't shipped yet. So I'm waiting on that one. But I don't hate this. Is this the cartoon? Is this the anime? Oh, I think it is. I think that's what it is. Okay, never mind. Yeah, the complete series. I missed that. I don't know how I missed that. Yeah, Shout Factory from 1967 to 1968. Complete series, $80. I don't think it's a horrible price point for a brand new day one purchase of a complete series of an old show like that and a premium set. I think it's pretty fair for what it is. But I also know that Speed Racer is probably not for everybody, but it is for somebody. We have a lot more anime. And now here's one. I just picked this up. It's a fantastic film. So Nightcrawler, I recommend. But we're getting a 4K finally, and I don't know if I need to upgrade. If I like the film, I like my Blu-ray. I just got it last year or 2 years ago. And so it's very recent to my collection. And I haven't watched it again. So I don't think I need to rush out and get this 4K. So definitely not a day one purchase for me. But I think it's a fantastic film. The fact that we are getting 4K is awesome. I don't dislike the cover at all. I think that's pretty sharp. Somehow I love because it has it feels like an 80s. It has an 80s feel, like it really does, where you have just this picture with the reflection in the glasses, and the reflection is actually the real picture. We've seen that a few times, and for some reason, I think it's top notch. So yeah, Nightcrawler is a great film that is coming out. Now this steelbook, I do love Night of the Comet, and I actually like this steelbook. I'm going to pass on it, but this is one, I don't know, it's kind of tempting because I love the cover, but also I don't know about, she looks goofy on the other cheerleader, the sister there with the leg up on the window. She looks a little goofy. Is this AI art? I hope it's not. It looks, I don't know. Maybe I don't love it anymore. I don't love it. Let me go back. Yeah, I don't like the art. I don't like it. I don't know if it's like maybe the way the picture's taken or whatever, but that just doesn't, like the main girl here that's in the front. She doesn't look bad, but the sister looks like a dude in a dress. Like, it's horrible. I don't like that. And if somebody drew that, like, I just crapped all over their artwork. So there's that. But yeah, not a fan, but I do love the film. And so yeah, that's coming out from Steelbook, and be a huge pickup for people that love Steelbooks, I guess. And then we've talked about JFK before. But yeah, and the Stuntman's the one that is like my biggest attention. There's that. And then this, I posted about this, I think yesterday. But anyway, I am super stoked about this. I love both Alien and Aliens. I think there was more. I think there's more of these films, but I only have the first two. I have them on VHS. I have one on Blu-ray and one on 4K. I think the first one I have on Blu-ray, and the second one I have on 4K. So I think I'm going to get this set. I like the artwork. There's an artist that they commissioned to do this, and I think it's great. And then somebody said they didn't like the comic book art. I do. And that's the thing is, like, I appreciate the original artwork. I appreciate the posters. But a lot of times when films didn't give us always the painted movie artwork, like the thing is, movie posters used to always be painted. And I come from that era, and they stopped doing it in the early 90s. And they just kind of got away from it. And so the fact that this is the cover, I think is great. Now, I don't know what they're going to do, because on the interior, a lot of times with imprint, they print interior art. And so they don't do reversible art where you could get the original artwork. So that's one of those things that it's hit or miss for some fans. For me, huge fan. I love that they're taking a chance, and they actually hired an artist to do this instead of just using the previous stuff. And you're getting both films inside this box. This is a huge want for me. You are getting the original posters, which is cool. You are getting stuff. So you're getting a 2-pack with this art here and a slipcover there. We've seen some of that stuff before. And the art cards and all this. I am huge. This is going to be expensive. It's going to be overpriced. But the thing, and I say overpriced, but like that's what everybody else says. This is a premium collector set. It's not for everybody. It's limited to 1,500 copies. All of that extra stuff is the same stuff that we get in those other sets from the, when you used to be able to go to Best Buy and you see a big collector set. Like that's the same thing. And people compare this to a standard version. Obviously, you're getting all this extra stuff, and you're getting this is going to be oversized. Like it's got to be oversized. This giant book here, I'm all in. How is it? Let's see. Limited edition mutation, hard box artwork. Yeah, I am all in. I am super excited about this one. Let's see. Have a bespoke collector's item measuring 24 by 32 centimeters. So yeah, that's I don't know what that is. I'm from America. We don't do centimeters. I'm horrible. Just deal with it. And 24-inch by 40-inch folded print of the original Species poster. Same size for so yeah, you're getting 27 by 40, which is awesome, because in the past when I've gotten their posters, they seem like a smaller size, or the Australian equivalent to what we would have. So the fact that we're getting a movie poster size now, they used to do 27 and 40 and 27 and 41, but 27 by 40 movie poster is perfect, because when you buy frames online, that movie poster frame is the cheaper route. That 41, getting one for those original movie posters, the minimum you get, it's $100 for the frame. So you can get one of these frames for, I think, like 20, 30 bucks. And so that is awesome. The fact that they're coming in those sizes, and you're getting all this other stuff. You're getting a reproduction of the original press kit for Species 1 and 2. You're getting the 1995 lobby cards for Species, the 98 lobby cards for Species 2. So yeah, this is probably going to be just like the big giant collector sets that they have been putting out. And instantly, it's going to be an easy pickup for me. And again, somebody's going to say that it's overpriced, but this cost $200 back in 2004, which is $300 today. And this is just a DVD with some comic books and some other stuff in a hard case. And so it's not for everybody, and that's not going to be for everybody either. But it is for me. Let's see, what do we got? So there's that. And then this is something that I'm super excited. I kept forgetting to buy this from Synapse. So what is this? Let's see. So what is this? Tag the Assassination Game Standard Edition Blu-ray. Let's see. Comes out in September. So is that the 4K? Is that all they put out? And now we're getting a standard Blu-ray of this. I need to get this film. I like it. I haven't seen it in many years, and I just kind of keep forgetting because I don't buy a lot of stuff from Synapse, and it's one of those things. Yeah, this is what we got before. So what is this? This is a Blu-ray. Tag the Assassination Game, Kiss Me, Kill Me. Everybody gets. What's the difference? Is this already sold out? There was 2,000 copies of this. And then what is the difference? It's just a standard edition, and that's their limited edition. Oh, okay. Either way, I need it. I do need it still. Not exactly sure. What do we got? And then Imprint announced these TV shows as well. I'm interested in these. So Tintin is a show I was familiar with. Spielberg made the cartoon a few years ago. Well, maybe a decade ago now, and there was supposed to be a sequel to that, and I don't think it ever was even in the works. But this is a show I never got into. I was familiar with it, and then I watched that American version they put out not too long ago with Spielberg attached. I liked that movie, and so I like the story. I like the character. We might get into this, but this one is completely new to me. The Adventures of Blake and Mortimer, the complete collection. So I'm, again, just like Tintin, I'm assuming it's a UK thing, a British thing. But either way, it looks like an adventure, a cartoon. I'm all in on both of those. So you're getting the complete collection. That's what it looks like, a nice big chunky box set. And the animation on there looks great. I just watched an old anime from the 1980s, and the 2D animation, I really do miss it. And so this is going to be an easy pickup for me. I definitely want that one. I just miss a lot of that old stuff. So, yeah, I might be grabbing that. And Tintin as well. It's like, because of the Spielberg movie, I think I've wanted to get into this. So this one, I'm kind of on the fence. I still kind of want it, but I also don't think like my kid's going to get into it. So I guess it would be like more of a guilty pleasure for me than anything. But you never know. She changes her mind on a daily basis. But we talked about this Blades of the Guardians on 4K. So this is coming out, and it comes out in when? When does it come out? In August. So that poster that it was showing before on Twitter, it was fine. I would have got it. It was fine. I love this poster. If this is what we get for the release, like, that is amazing. Like, that is really cool. So I would definitely be picking this one up for sure. Got that. And then Cannibal Holocaust. This is a movie that's been talked about for years, and it's something I don't think I still don't think I need to see this film. Have never seen it. I'm aware of it. I mean, I've seen like clips from it, but like I've never sat down to watch the entire film. Yeah, this is one it's very taboo. It's come up many times on lists of like banned and censored films, and so the fact that we're getting it is great for the fans, and it's great for physical media in general. It's just I don't think it's great for me. But you're getting a new 4K restoration, and what is this? No release date yet, but coming out of Grindhouse releasing, and that is something I know a lot of people are going to want to get their hands on. What else in here? What's this? New Sony thing? Fuse? Looks like a great cast here. Aaron Taylor Johnson, Theo James, Sam Worthington. I like Sam Worthington. He was the only one I recognized. Well, I recognize this guy too. I just don't know his name. But Sam Worthington, I know him. Let's see. What is this film? Fuse unfolds after an unexploded World War II bomb is unearthed at a busy construction site, forcing massive citywide evacuation amid excavating tensions and chaos. I could watch that. I don't know if it's a one and done, but the fact that it takes place in looks like London, I could totally watch that. I'm in. Let's see. What else? Suburban Mayhem, 20th anniversary. American branch of Australian label Umbrella Entertainment. We have an American branch? What? I did not know that we had an American branch of Umbrella. Is preparing a Blu-ray release of Paul Goldman's Suburban Mayhem from 2026 or 2006, starring Emily Barclay and Mia Wachowski. Yeah, I think I might have seen this. I'll check. Yeah, Umbrella Entertainment in July. What is this? Neighbors are scared of her. The police can't keep her. Yeah, I think I've seen this, but I think I only saw it once. That's it. But everybody's trying. Yeah, just I don't know. For whatever reason, that is news to me. The American branch of the Australian label Umbrella. Are we getting Umbrella US just like Arrow does, or did we already have one? I just never knew it. Either way, I might pick that up. Either way. Talked about that before. Oh, and this one. So this one's interesting. There's the movie with Val Kilmer I think it's Val Kilmer that's based off this story. This story of John Holmes. That I don't need this, but I think I need that movie with Val. I think it was Val Kilmer. Anyway, it was the story about his life and the murders that happened and that whole tragic thing. But this is like a documentary, probably. Wow, the life and times of John C. Holmes. The release is scheduled to arrive in July. And yeah, it's just what inspired Boogie Nights, like that whole thing. And he was like the most prolific porn star, and tragic murders happened around his life. And I liked that other story better. I don't think I need to go ahead and get this. But yeah, that's out there. And now here's something. So a modern horror film, and I'm not here to say it's good or bad, but this is something that's getting great traction. A lot of people are saying that they love it. And I think this is something that made a bunch of money, but I know a lot of people have been talking about this movie Obsession, and it could be good. It could be bad. It could be mediocre. Like I think most modern stuff that's not derivative, or it's not beating you over the head with the message, people tend to say is amazing. And then you actually watch it and you're like, this isn't as amazing as people put it on a pedestal for. But I think this right here shows Hollywood that people are hungry for new stuff. They've spent so much money and time on old stuff, or just rebooting and remaking and franchise this and sequel this and sequel and after, and then all this stuff sucks. None of it's great, and it's just watering down why people loved the original so much. And now certain films and certain franchises, they're totally great, but I think stuff like this that people are going to the theaters for, and even that Backrooms one, I think is the same thing. Like I think that people were all over the place with it. People loved it. People said it was not that great, but it's still different, and it got people to go to the theaters for it. And so people will go to the theaters. They constantly say movie theaters are dying. People will go to the theaters if you give the people something that's worth going for. And new stuff I think is way better. And so I don't know if it's good, but I just know that it drove people to go see it. Dolly, I don't need Dolly. That's not for me. Yeah, that's all that stuff. Let's dive into the rest of that stuff. Ooh, just watched Ghoulies 3. Nice. How'd you like that one? I like Ghoulies. I like the Ghoulies franchise. I need to get the other one. I just have the first one. I got to get the other ones. Dude, I'm 49, not 90, so I'm not going to watch black and white films. That's fine, man. You do you. I like black and white films. I have a black and white TV. I like, and because the thing is, like, there's great films in every era. Like, I'm not telling you to watch every film, but there are some fantastic films. Like, you can't tell me, like, Psycho, it's still talked about to this day. It's black and white, and people love it. If you don't want to watch black and white films, you don't have to. People have that opinion, but it's no different than like people getting mad at me saying like I won't watch things on streaming, and so if I can't own it, I can't physically have it in my hand, like I don't need to watch it. And people get mad at me, and I don't understand that point. Like, it's just a different perspective. I don't need to stream it, and if I can't have it in my hand, I don't need to watch it. And I've had that mentality. And so if you don't want to watch black and white films, like you don't have to. But the thing is, I like the fact that they're coming out, because the thing is, some of those films are some of the greatest films of all time. Like the original King Kong inspired not only great films after the fact, but Ray Harryhausen was inspired by that 1930s King Kong movie to get into movie making. As a little boy, he figured out how to make stop motion animation, was the best in the business, and under him, a lot of people learned and honed their craft and changed things. And so black and white films have a place, and I get they're not for everybody. But I'm not 90, and I love black and white films. Why is everyone assuming announcing Wild at Heart 4K automatically true? He also claimed Shout was putting out Chopping Mall like a year or so ago. Shout called BS. I haven't been steered wrong by. I didn't know about that Chopping Mall one, but usually that's why I also said when I said in the very beginning that it falls under the rumor side of it. But when Dawn of the Discs announced stuff, like usually I've had it either comes out within a year or so, but it comes out, and so that's one I wasn't familiar with that was announced and never came out or was called BS. But the fact that they're working on it, I'm interested, but it does fall into the rumor category, and that's why I said at the beginning. Let's see. Having a loose DVD rattling around from shipping is the worst. Yeah, I can't agree more. Like, that is the worst. Let's see. The room is getting there. Yesterday, I did a quick 2-channel test. Nice. I think I got a bit emotional. Yeah, I get it, man. Being that long without your movies and being able to enjoy the room and all that, I totally get it. Like, we moved, and I packed up all my stuff in October. We moved in November, and then we didn't get here until like Thanksgiving week. We got here Thanksgiving Day. I think we actually checked in here, and then we didn't get our stuff till the middle of December, like before Christmas. But like, still, it just, yeah, it sucks. It sucks, man. I get it. Exactly. The library is awesome to have. The last few days, I've watched Knight's Tale 90s. It's VHS, A Fistful of Dollars, and the bass, Mark Dacascos, and picked up from the library and enjoyed it. Yeah, that's great. It's great. I was like, and you enjoy A Knight's Tale. You enjoy that, brother. It's not for me. It never will be. I gave it a chance, though. I gave it a fair chance, but it's not for me. You do get it. That's not the same discs in the Rambo set, right? New remasters, new audio, subs, Dolby Vision. I get it, but I'm just saying, I know how I am. I don't think everybody gets it, but I know how I am. I'm fine. I'm not 100% ready to get rid of it. I said I'm just not thrilled with the packaging, and it might be given away. Let's see. I miss all the clever DVD packaging. Yeah, DVD. I think DVD was peak physical media. It really was, because you had so many different options. Everybody was putting out cool things because they were vying for your dollars. And now everybody's doing this standard, library steelbook cases, and these are what the premium sets look like. But my collector wall used to have all the different sets, and it was cool. Like, I'm looking at right now, it's this Labyrinth staircase set, which is really cool. I got it years ago. It's about this big. It has the 4K or Blu-ray digibook in the back, and then the front of it is like a mirror edition of the staircase, and it's cool. It looks nothing like anything else. And I have the Scarface set, I have that, but then since they got away from all of that coolness, we're just getting smallest form factor packaging as cheaply as possible, and then them calling it a limited edition collector's version. That stuff is collector's versions, and the thing is, that stuff isn't for everybody. But now it's almost, like I said, it's becoming the standard where people get confused or they get upset that certain things cost a certain amount. Well, it's not a standard collector set. It's not a standard version, and the standard version of that stuff should have a fair price, and a lot of it does. But then there's times where we're getting only the limited collector set that's extremely expensive, and that's the only version we're getting. And so that part sucks. And so I understand that. But yeah, DVD was peak with all that stuff. Let's see. 2021 Mortal Kombat is honestly awesome. I was like, I watched it, man, and I just never needed a revisit. Like, it's the thing. I was like, I get it. Just people like stuff. I didn't expect to laugh so much. Kano was casted perfectly. Yeah, Kano was pretty good in that. I think he was good in the second one too. Yeah, Kano steals the show in both movies. Yeah, it was like I don't disagree there at all. Michael is more than likely a steelbook with a clear sleeve. Yeah, I kind of figured that. Once I saw Lionsgate, I kind of figured it was something like that. But yeah, steel with a clear sleeve, Lionsgate does that often. Yeah. I have two Lionsgate steels. One was the one TJ sent. It was the lenticular for Kickboxer, and then I have Highlander. Like, that's all I have for the limited edition. So yeah, I get it. Yeah, Stuntman is excellent. That's been recommended a few times. I do have to get that one. What do you think of German packaging? It all depends. Sometimes the stuff I'm looking for only has like the media books, and I'm not really into those. And so I have a couple, but just because they're interesting, but it's not my all-time favorite. But I like it as another option to just a steelbook only, or even a big chunky box. Like, sometimes that is not as fun as it used to be, or some titles I just don't think deserve the chunky box. I think that let's get something different. Let's get a media book. Let's get a different release. And then for their standard releases, I think it's great because most of them, not all of them, when I import from Germany, I can just flip the art around. And so the big giant warning label or age rating label that they have on the front cover, you just flip it around and then that's gone. And so I like that. But not all of the German titles, but I would say I'd probably say like 80-90% of the German titles that are standard edition that I've imported, I was able to just switch it around. Here we go. Mark says, Stuntman is fantastic. I got the Radiance release, and the transfer is great. Nice. Yeah, I miss the painted artwork too. Like, that's one of my all-time favorites. That's why I surround myself with this stuff. And going back to the older formats, like, there's so many times where the VHS or even the DVD has the painted artwork, and then later releases got boring, crappy artwork. And it's never the same. Never the same. Not a huge fan of the Mortal Kombat remake, but I did like Scorpion. Yeah, that's the thing. I think the new Mortal Kombat had its merits. It's just I don't need to watch it again. But I didn't hate it. Like, I don't think I left hating it. That was the thing. I just didn't love it. Let's see. The lack of Johnny Cage was dumb, and this Cole, whatever. I haven't seen the second one. Well, you'll like the second one. Because I don't think anybody liked Cole. Let's see. Dark says, I can buy the Species box set this month. I'm already dropping $220 on the Avatar 3 movie 4K UHD Collector's Edition to arrive June 16th. Yeah, it's gonna be a monster set, and probably in that price range. So yeah, if you love this stuff, and the thing is, like, if it's one of your all-time favorites, like if you were just collecting every single one of the like big expensive collector sets and that's what your whole collection is, it's cool, I guess, but like then again it doesn't feel special. And so some of those things, yeah, they're great. And I was like, that Avatar set, I'm glad you're getting it, brother. Just waiting for the for Near Dark from Synapse. Oh, that's going to be an easy day one pickup for sure. Waiting for Stargate 94 4K. I don't understand why it's only in existence as an ancient 1080p master. Yeah, I don't know. I think I never hated the Blu-ray, but yeah, I don't know. And then at the same time, like, I would expect, and the thing is, like, I kind of miss, like, when we talk about the big collector sets, like, I know boutique labels have been really leaning into that, and they've been keeping physical media alive for the most part. But what I really miss is the studio collector sets, and I thought that's where we got a lot of the cool stuff. And Also not like crazily expensive. Like usually the collector sets you'd find in Best Buy and stuff, anywhere between $80 and $100 in that range. Very rarely would you see like a big $200 price tag on some of those sets. Like I said, that Lord of the Rings one, the crazy $800 price tag, it was something that was extremely ridiculous, and it was online only. Like maybe a few Best Buys had them in store, but no Best Buy that I knew had it in store, and you could only get it online. And so, yeah, I just kind of miss the studio stuff. I do. American branch of Umbrella must be by Vinegar Syndrome. They have releases under their partner site. Oh, okay. That might be it. That might be the deal. See, your name 4K. Does that mean Suzumi will finally get a US 4K? I still need to pick up Weathering with You. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of now getting into anime together, all for the first time, and so I'm getting a lot of it under my belt. I have not seen any of those, but Weathering You has been on my radar for a little while. Maybe we're getting them. Maybe we are. Here we go. Umbrella Entertainment US is an official partner label with Vinegar Syndrome. Nice. There we go. WAD is the doc. Wonderland is the disc. Yeah, Wonderland. I need that film. I love it. I haven't seen it since DVD days. I thought it was a fantastic film, but I don't think I need to see the documentary. Obsession is becoming one of the most profitable films of all time, alongside Blair Witch Project. And I think it really do. I think it's because it's new and it's not a remake or sequel or anything like that thing. It's just something new, and so people were interested in it. And it just goes to show people want to see this stuff. So all the times that they're saying that the movie theaters are dying, I think is nonsense. I just think that they're putting out the wrong stuff, because people flock to the theaters to see Oppenheimer and the Barbie movie, and what was the last thing? There's something else that they just recently flocked to, and then Obsession. People are going to that, and I know that the back rooms people are really like talking about that one as well. And so, yeah, if they're giving us new stuff, they used to put out a ton of thrillers in the 90s, and people loved that. And then at the same time, they would put out those mediocre movies that weren't big budget blockbusters, and people would go see that. But then lately, the trend has been, I'll just catch it on streaming. That was a conversation for many years, but it's one of those things that's just kind of frustrating. I think we'll see more of it, because there's been a few movies that have been announced, and it just boldly says only in theaters. And so I think we're going to see a lot more of it lately. And who knows? But I'm hoping we get a lot more physical media out of it. Everyone says this every year. Nothing new is under the sun. The message, and then the Talk to Me or X comes out, and people like it. Wait, I don't understand what you're saying. Everyone says this every year. Nothing is new under the sun. The message. Then the Talk to Me or X comes out, and people are like, "Is this the new dawn of a new era?" I don't know, man. I don't know. I was like, every year. I think, well, the thing is, like, I don't know if I have commentary on that. The thing is, I can only talk about what I've said. And so every single year it does feel like a new era, because it is changing. Like the entire physical media collecting has changed since I've been 16. And so every year feels different, but the last 2 years have felt different than anything else. But now it seems like we're swinging back to more movies in theaters, and we're getting more stuff on physical media. And so that's where I feel. Let's see. If nobody got it yet, good afternoon, 80s, and everyone. Jesse James. 2 people got it first thing as soon as the stream started, but I love the enthusiasm, because we did miss it last week for sure. Willow isn't worth $40. Old scan, very unimpressive. Resolves, little grain, probably grain managed, if not DNR. This isn't a single Lucasfilm title that George era that is demo worthy. Well, I never said it was demo worthy, but they did put it out, and I love the film, and I think the 4K looked pretty good. And I don't have streaming, and so that was the conversation. It was basically the same scan from streaming. I didn't think it needed a new scan, but a lot of those films, you can't even. I mean, yeah, sure. There's probably some DNR, there's probably some AI scale and all that stuff, but there's so many of those films that, depending on how it was shot and how it was taken care of, I can't say that even a new scan or a new restoration without any kind of upscaling or DNR is going to make you get that wow factor out of some of those movies. Now, there's some newer movies, because that was done in the 80s. You have some newer movies, late 90s, early 2000s. Those movies, when they get put out on 4K, they do give you a little bit of a wow factor because the films haven't been degraded and they've been taken care of a little bit better. Oh, see, how is that one? So enjoying the Spider Noir in black and white. So that's good. I wanted to watch it last night because we do have Amazon Prime for shipping. And so I was like, I might as well take advantage of it. And I wanted to watch it last night, but then my kid wanted to watch some stupid TV show that we've seen a million times. And she wanted to watch like 4 or 5 of them, do a little marathon thing. And so we ended up not watching it, but I am looking forward to that. So I think we're going to try to watch that this weekend for sure. Let's see. I didn't see your noting it was a rumor since I came in late. Didn't mean to come off hostile. Yeah, I mean, it did seem a little hostile, but like at the same time, like I thought I'd mentioned it. And so like I do try, like when I say the Dawn of the Disc stuff or I go to Twitter, like I do try to make sure that stuff is rumor because it's not officially announced by the stuff. But I haven't been steered wrong by Dawn of the Discs, but that is interesting because Chopping Mall is one of my favorites. And so if we were supposed to get one of those, I would have been super stoked about it. But also I could have been super stoked about it and then forgotten because it was years ago. So also one of those things. Indiana Jones, Rage of the Lost Ark comes close but fails due to poor compression to the demo worthy. Return of the Jedi 4K is very good, but I wouldn't say demo worthy. Yeah, I was like, I like those discs on 4K, but I've never, like, I've made a few 4K demo discs, demo worthy Atmos discs, things that I think are like the best in my collection. And I don't think, well, I know I've talked about Indiana Jones, so maybe I don't know off the top of my head what it was because it was years ago. But Return of the Jedi, I never said that was a demo disc ever. There's definitely a few demo discs and some older ones, but also depends on your TV. And I'm finding that out a lot more because I have a Sony OLED television, and there's films that people for years have said that these are the worst transfers ever, and I don't get that same experience. And then you go over to Reddit, and there's the same thing where people are in both sides. It's the best, it's the worst, and nobody's really in the middle. And then you have to realize everybody has a different television, everybody has different settings. People change things, and some people have all of their DNR that's built into their TV cranked way up, and some people have it off, and you will get a different experience. But then I just bought this budget 4K television because of this conversation. I wanted to lay some of this stuff to rest and actually be able to do a comparison. And with that conversation that Dolby 2.0 is coming out, so Dolby Vision 2.0, they've announced it, and they said specifically it was because of OLED televisions. There are a lot of people that report many films look way too dark on the OLED television, even when you turn Dolby Vision off on your TV, on your player, and switching it over here and watching some of those discs on my budget TV that is like a regular crappy like LED. The TV was $100. It was like $150 from Best Buy, and so it's not the greatest. But it looks good. 4Ks look good on it. Blu-rays look good. DVDs look great. But the 4Ks with Dolby Vision look amazing on this television. Oh, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So as we're talking about this, and sometimes I'm told that I don't do my research, which I always think is funny because I research the hell out of all this stuff. And this is something that I can't 100% tell. Here, let me just move this here. Get that. So you got a screenshot of something today. We're going to talk about this. And let's see. Here we go. Let me pull this up. Okay. So this is something that was announced. It was put on Twitter, and it was from the 4K authoring of the new 4K Masters of the Universe. And this, what they're showing when they swung by the authoring is, I'm fairly certain that it's being authored on a budget television. And so that's a weird thing when I've been told for years that if I disagree with somebody about a film, especially a 4K, that I must have a budget TV. And I've always had the Sony OLED. But now that I have a budget TV, some of those movies that people say are the worst transfers of all time look amazing on my budget TV. And so this here, so the coming soon Masters of the Universe. And so you can find this on Twitter. You can find this. You can zoom in. I can't zoom in here, but I can a little bit, I guess, but I don't think you'll be able to see it. So it's hard to see. So it becomes all blurry when you zoom in. But looking at that logo, to me, that looks like a Hisense television. And from what I understand, that's not top of the line. That is not a TV that would be considered a reference television. And that is what is being used to author this television. Now, I could be wrong, and that could be some brand that I'm not familiar with. But even though it's blurry, and so I don't know 100%, but when I look at that logo, I think that's Hisense for the television. And the mastering of this is being done. And so when it said, when you go to Twitter, it says that they stopped by the authoring, the Blu-ray 4K authoring site. And then that's what they showed. And so if the place that sets these files up and does all this stuff, it's using a budget television, like, it just goes to show that might be why people say these are the worst transfers of all time, because we all have different televisions. And I've said that for years, and for years people tell me I'm wrong. And I don't know anybody that's comparing. I just bought a budget TV, and I see what I have had a theory about for years. Some of those worst transfers look awesome with Dolby Vision on my budget television, and on my OLED television that I paid $2,000 for, it does not look that great. Now, there are some Dolby Vision discs, like I just got, I just watched Robin Hood on 4K from Arrow. That looked amazing. There's a few that look great, and even some that I've been able to turn the Dolby Vision on and have a good experience. But almost all of them, I've had a bad experience. Now, Risky Business. It also depends on your player too. So I've had a Panasonic player and I have a Sony player, and I get a different experience with that. So on the Panasonic player, on certain discs, especially Risky Business, if I put that in, the scenes that go from light to dark, or there's a window behind somebody and then they switch to an interior shot, it is so crazy, like, because of the way Dolby Vision works. It's on the fly of constantly adjusting things. It's super bright and it's super dark and it's extremely jarring. And there's been other films that have been mentioned about this, and I think it's specifically on Panasonic players. But in my Sony, on my OLED, I still have turned off the Dolby Vision and had the best possible experience. But taking that same player, moving it up here and watching it on the 4K, Risky Business, fantastic. And so a $2,000 TV versus a $150 TV, and I'm getting the best possible picture. And that's also the other thing. That's 43-inch, where TV downstairs is 65, and people argue and say that you can't get any enjoyment out of a 4K disc. You can't see the value of a 4K if you have less than a 65-inch TV. And that's also nonsense. This TV is 43 inches, and I can see a difference between a DVD, a Blu-ray, and a 4K. And so it's just, I think that people just say things to justify what they purchased. So that's that. But yes, anyway, you're good, bro. We're not that sensitive here. Oh yeah. I'm not sensitive at all. Let's see. But sometimes, like, reading text, though, it's hard to, like, understand. Like, sometimes on the fly, you're like, what do you mean? And so there is sometimes that where I'm caught off guard. But yeah, I'm not sensitive. Very thick skin. Are you guys prepping for the Criterion Barnes & Noble sale? I wasn't, but I might head over to Barnes & Noble soon. But yeah, I don't think I put out a video, but I do like to pop over there every now and again, and it's been a while. So I might hit up the sale. So I guess not necessarily prepping. I just might hit up the sale and see what they have. Because there's definitely a few Criterion titles that I need to get. I still need to get House Party, and there's a few I know I want to get. Star Wars Empire Strikes Back 2020 UHD is mixed at best. New Hope, Asinine, Frozen Grain, and DNR. Yeah, I was like, I didn't pick those up. I'm happy with my Blu-rays. American Graffiti and Phantom Menace in 4K. Those are all Lucasfilm's worst. I don't have any of those. I have them all on Blu-ray. I don't have any of those. And I was going to get American Graffiti on 4K, and I never did. And so I'm glad I never did. yeah. Blue Quarter, you can't have anything from Barnes & Noble. Let's see. Despite DNR, I'd say the previous Blu-rays of American Graffiti is decent, and so is the director's cut of THX. So I have THX on DVD, and I think that's fine. But then the Blu-ray, I understand that people complain about it, but I've never had a bad experience with it. I have all of the settings for my television for DNR and all that stuff either low or off, and I have the best possible experience. So that's a Blu-ray that I never hated. Or whatever. But there have been movies where I'm like, oh man, DNR is extremely heavy on this. But even like I talk about Jaws, like Jaws 3, everyone lost their minds over it, and I still had a good time with it. But I understood like it wasn't the best. But also the special effects have been joked about for years, and so I've always said I also think that's ironic. But even when like True Lies is heavy-handed DNR. People complain about that all the time. It does look really good on the budget TV, I'll tell you that. But on my OLED, I've always said I had a pretty good time with it. Now, if I crank all of my settings up, I turn all the DNR on, I turn the motion smoothing on, I do all of that stuff, then I start to see the problems that everybody was complaining about. And so people went, raging on that film. They were talking about in the background, you could see the AI digital enhanced. And like, so there was one scene in the back, the windows looked a little green. There's some like a green ring around it. I remember somebody was complaining about that. And I could only get that experience if I turned everything up all the way up to 100 and max out all those settings. And that's the only way that I could get that experience. And so with having everything off, it's watchable. It's fine. It's definitely not the best 4K ever. And I'll never say it's the best 4K ever, but True Lies is not as bad as people made it out to sound, but also maybe depending on the television. But like when I had all my stuff low, I had a good time with it. Because I like the film, and I've never been one of those pixel peepers. I don't stop and pause to then go, oh, there's the problem, there's this. I just watch the film because that's how you do watch it. So I understand that those things have problems and you can see them, but yeah, I would never call them reference discs. But the thing is, these problems have always been around. DVD had these problems, Blu-ray had these problems. Things didn't get digitally mastered when they got put over to DVD, and so you have like VHS rips, and so it's like a little bit better than a VHS quality, but not as good as the other DVDs. There's tons of those same situations on Blu-ray, and so you are still going to have it on 4K, and so they do exist. But even back then, only your like super fans were going on the internet and then blogging and then crying about it and then being upset that certain color timings were off or certain things. But the majority of everybody else just bought it, watched it, and it is what it is. And so there's that. And I understand if you drop thousands of dollars into your big giant 4K system and you buy a disc, it's one of your favorite movies, and then you're disappointed by it. I get it. There's films I've been disappointed by for that same reason, but I'm not championing that, they're the best 4K discs ever. So I get that, but man, I don't think I have any 4K disc in my collection where I hate it. And True Lies and Jaws 3 are probably the most notorious ones that have in my collection that have the AI scrubbing and have the DNR up to, max, and, they're frustrating, very frustrating. Love MVD Rewind is my price point. MVD Rewind has some great gems, and that's a great price point. And I just watched Planet CHH. So Christian put out this video, and he had some knowledge that I did not know about the Vestron movies. And so we've talked about Vestron, and the prices are creeping up there, and they're getting expensive. But he pointed out, because I wasn't buying them, I was buying them after COVID, and he was saying, and that's where I was finding them for like $11, and in that price range at Walmart, and that was great for those titles. And I have a lot of them. I don't have all of them. I still got to get Blood Diner. I still got to get a few other ones in my collection, but I have a lot of them. And because I was buying them all during that era that they were cheap at Walmart. But he was saying that they kind of existed before. You could get them at Best Buy and you get them everywhere. And they were like $30 plus, depending on where you could get them. And then they just kind of stopped and then they went away. And then after COVID, they started coming out again and just kind of almost like out of left field, just kind of showed up and at that price point. And so that's interesting. I did not know that. I guess they were much more expensive than I ever remembered when they first launched. But then you go back to even early DVD days. Like you could originally, when DVD launched, you could buy a TV show season for, I think it was like $60 or $75 for a whole TV show. And I know that for a fact because I bought Friends, both TV shows, first season, second season, and I paid like $60 plus shipping, or not shipping, tax, because I bought it at Circuit City. So tax was, I think it was like close to $75, and for both of those. And then when season 3 came out, because as I watched them, then I would go buy the next season. And so then season 3 came out, it was like $40. And then from then on there, like TV shows were about that $40 price range, but a lot of the stuff was expensive. And so just hearing that Vestron changed their price was interesting, but now it's creeping back up there. And again, I don't know about it. I liked the Vestron prices. And so MVD Rewind is great that a lot of people don't talk about as much, and they have some great gems. And so I gotta go back to get some more of those. I got to get the rest of the Ghoulies for sure. Raising Arizona and The Jerk would be great. I just picked up Raising Arizona. Those would be great. Those would be great re-releases. I don't even need big, giant collector sets for those. They would be great re-releases. And I always say that. I don't think I would upgrade either of those films. I just bought Raising Arizona, so I wouldn't jump on an upgrade. But the thing is, I think that they should, because it's about restoration and it's about preservation. And then it's also about new people finding this stuff for the very first time. And so while I don't need to upgrade it, I think those would be fantastic films that should get 4Ks soon. Let's see. Let's see. What's this one? Iron Lung is supposed to be another good indie movie with $3 to $4 million budget. Yeah, I might have to check that out. Like I have some indie films that I like, and there's that, but I was never like heavy into the indie films. And so there's nothing wrong with them. There's plenty of great ones, but I would hope that more studios, because like there's more money. And that's the thing, is I get also with more money doesn't mean you're going to get a better film, but we have some of the greatest films of all time that weren't indie films. And so there are some great indie films. And so I'm not knocking those at all, but I just hope this, like, I guess this, because like what I guess I hope it is not that the studios, they see this trend of these low budget indie films are making a ton of money. So now they got to take these big budget ideas and then make them look like indie films, like they were doing. Because like now you can there's commercials on YouTube that look like a YouTube video. And that's not new. That's been around for a little while, but it's frustrating when it comes up, because I'm like, I'll be watching something and then all of a sudden, like, it still feels like I'm in a video, but I'm like, this is nothing about what I was talking about or learning or trying to watch. And it's different. And then I get mad, and it's that. And so like, if that's what they did to get you to watch these commercials instead of skipping them, if that's what the studios are going to start doing, is try to make their films look more indie to try to get people into, that would suck. That would really suck. But yeah, that's cool. I would definitely check that out. $3 to $4 million budget. Some of these indie films always end up being some of my favorites. I need to go back to the old ways of film release. Theater, 6 months later, physical release. Yeah, because it's one of those things, like, because that's about the time where you want to revisit it. In this modern era where we get something so fast, it's never in theaters for long. And then a lot of times, not lately, but a lot of times it was in theaters for like a couple weeks, and then you could buy it digitally for $20 or $30. And we know that's not owning, but you could buy it digitally and watch it at home. And then like month later or even less, you're getting the release. And so if you actually went to go see it in theaters, for me, it's fresh in my mind. And so unless it's one of those like 100% love the film so much, I want to watch it again and again, those aren't day one purchases. If I see a film in theaters that 6 months later, that when it comes out and I want to rewatch, like that's when it gives me that like thing where I want to rewatch it. And so it was a perfect schedule, and they just got away from it. And I think that the people in charge now don't even understand. Like it's been consumed so much. I'm not anti-consumer, like it's in my name, 80s made consumer. So I'm all about buying stuff, but like I think that they're like, if you watch it in theater or you stream it, and then you're going to go out and hurry up and buy it, and then we got to hurry up and crank out the next thing. And I think it's part of that whole binge watching stuff on streaming services has just changed that, way we consume our media and that thought process. That 6-month break gives you that want to revisit it. And obviously some movies are one and done for people, but the majority of people that want to watch it again, that's when you're renting it, that's when you're trying to get into it. And I think it was a perfect time, 100%. Just meant that there's always good, fresh, and non-franchise movies in theaters. It's not just Backrooms obsession. Yeah, oh no, 100%. We've been eating good for a few years now. Yeah, no, there's. I'm glad. No, you're 100% right. There's also good, fresh movies that aren't heavy-handed in their social themes. Just go look for them. Oh, no, and that's very true. That's very true. Like I say, I have some modern cinema, but it's the ones that are most talked about. It's the ones that are pushed out there. But I've done a few videos in the past where I'm like, these are some modern films that I like. I know I put some of this stuff over on member content, but there are definitely modern films that I like, and it's for those reasons. But when you really look at them, some of them, not all of them, those are the ones that aren't, they're mediocre. They're fine. They're good films. They're good for what they are, but they're not the ones that are going to be talked about 40 years from now. It's those ones that, people tend to hate. Those are the ones that get brought up all the time. But the reason we're talking about Jaws and Star Wars and Indiana Jones and that type of stuff, those were amazing films. We don't get a lot of that stuff now. And if any. So while I agree with you, I think that there are plenty of good films that just break that mold of the modern cinema. They're none of them compare to some of those ones that are still being talked about 50 years later. Just got notified of Blu-ray of Liar Liar is here. Nice, enjoy that one. I had that one on HD DVD. I don't know if I ever picked up the Blu-ray, but I do have that. It's a fun one. I got to revisit that one soon. That one and Bruce Almighty. I think we'll watch some HD DVDs this weekend because that's where I have Bruce Almighty is that one. Yeah, check those out for sure. And Will D's watches. Morning, brother. Hey, 80s. Happy Saturday, brother. Happy Saturday to you too, brother. Let's see. Coraline might be one of the best 4Ks I've seen. Yeah, that's one I'm kind of disappointed by. And now I think it was a Steelbook only too, but that was one I was disappointed by because we were going to buy it. My kid was super into it, and one of her older sisters hates Nightmare Before Christmas but loves Coraline, and then vice versa. Then the other sister is the same way. She loves Coraline and hates the other one, or vice versa. And so my youngest daughter that lives with me now, because all the other ones are old and grown up, this one, she loved Coraline. She hated Nightmare Before Christmas. But it's weird because she sings the song. She gets excited when the characters come around. Like she sees that stuff. Halloween time, she's super excited. Will not watch Nightmare Before Christmas, but she'll sing every song. But Coraline, she was in from like the time she was 2 years old. She was all about that film. She couldn't get enough of it. She watched it. The 4K finally comes out. We're in Best Buy. I went to pick it up and she said she was over it. And so we never picked it up. But then I think it's a Steelbook only. And so it's one of those things like that time I was still buying Steelbooks and now I'm not. And so I haven't actively gone for it. But I have wanted to revisit it because so many people say that it's probably one of the best looking 4K movies, and so I'm interested, and I've always wanted to revisit that one, but we never picked it up. Let's see. Old Way was theater releasing, then wait 5 or 6 years for home video, and get a dodgy pan and scan telesync in VHS 80s. Let's see, I can't. The screen's too small. For $80, and Happy Star Wars or E.T. the Extraterrestrial. I mean, yeah, maybe originally, like the back when VHS was $80, like that was early 80s still. And I have one on my shelf that has like a $59.99 like printed on the cover price. And so yeah, that stuff was crazy expensive. But like my biggest time of buying and getting into movies was the 90s when I was young teenager. That was about the time. So they were still expensive, but not that expensive. But yeah, 80s was $80 for a VHS was something that a lot of people don't even realize was a thing. Let's see. We need theatrical cut of THX 1138 on physical media. Yeah, I have the DVD. Like I don't think I've only seen that cut of the film. So yeah, I don't know if there's a huge difference between the two, but I have the DVD. Let's see. Did this jump back? Yeah, that's like one of the early questions. There we go. See, I don't know what this has to do with anything. Love my smart thermostat. I can sit on the sofa, watch 80s made TV, and turn on the air conditioner from my phone. Oh, there you go. That's nice. And that's something too. Like I haven't turned the air conditioner on, and it's going to be a hot one today. So we actually have it on right now, which is crazy. And everyone's eyes are different. They really are. They really are. The one no one talks about is just how grainy Aliens was. Even the previous Blu-ray was grain managed because the negative is grainy as hell. I'd like no DNR, but I do understand why Jim didn't like it. Yeah, I didn't hate the thing is like I didn't hate the Aliens 4K. So like there's that. Or like I don't remember hating the Blu-ray on that one. But that's one I know that people were upset about, but not as upset as some of the other films that he put out. Like, so I know Terminator 2 is the one that like people were angry with, and another one, like I don't hate it. And that's the benefit of having other formats or having other ways to watch it. And so I get there's a ton of people that are not going to pull out a VHS tape and watch Terminator or Terminator 2 or the DVD or even the Blu-ray now that the 4K is out. But when that 4K came out, man, you would have thought that, I don't know, something blasphemous. You thought it was the most blasphemous thing ever. And then they put out, like people were talking about, people were angry with it. And again, I watched it and I understand the digital editing where they did the glass, they put the glass in or remove the glass. So that I get that part of it, but like even the heavy-handed DNR, just like I said, I watched the film. I'm not pausing, I'm not stopping, and we sit a good distance away. And so it was one of the ones that never bothered me, but that's one that people were like angry with. But then I just think that they were least angry with Aliens, and maybe it's because there's less fans of it. I don't know, but there's that one and Titanic. People complained about both of them, but not as much as any of the other ones. But then even like Terminator 1 on 4K, it has some DNR, and that has great reviews across the board. Like, I don't think I've seen a negative review on the Terminator 4K. I think it looks great, but you can't tell me that there's zero DNR on that film. There is. There has to be. Going back and looking at some of the like the DVD and stuff, or you would see it. I think it's there. See, the one that made no sense was How Lazy True Lies, a modern film from '94 with a perfectly usable negative is just needed to be scanned. All the AI upscaling and 2K Master Y. I don't disagree, but again, I didn't hate it either. That was the thing. It's like for me, it wasn't unwatchable, and that's what was being said. It was the most egregious thing. It was unwatchable, and like I said, I changed my settings. I could see what people were complaining about. I changed them back to the way I have them, and I could watch the film. But I don't disagree with you. Like it was just it's a newer film that probably didn't even need any restoration at all. It just probably needed a nice scan, maybe a little bit cleaning up here or there from some of those like film scratches that come around sometimes. But other than that, I agree with you. It shouldn't have been done, but it was. And we'll probably never get a remaster. That's probably what we got for a long time, if ever. I heard that Ginger Snaps 4K is an upscale. I really love that movie, but I don't know if I should pull the trigger on it. See, I have the second sight version, and I enjoy that version. Now, here's the thing with the upscales. Now, people go back and forth on it. Now, here's the thing. Like, if it says native 4K or it says upscale, if it looks good, it looks good. And, you know, you can argue back and forth, like depending on the size of the television, how much money you spent, you know, people will say that they can see a difference. There are so many films, like if you didn't see it, like you go back and you look at the Blu-ray looks really good. And then going to the 4K, it's a very minuscule jump. And so like, I don't know. I don't know how to even like argue that one, because people, no matter what you say, people are going to argue it. But if you have a good upscale and it looks good, I don't think a 4K is going to give you that much more. And so like, again, it's that I don't even think it would be that much of a difference from going from like the minuscule jump from the Blu-ray to the 4K. If you go from an upscale to an actually, you know, remastered, rescanned 100% 4K restoration, I don't think it would be like a night and day difference if you could see anything at all. But maybe if you have like a big 80-inch, 100-inch TV and you're sitting super close to it, you might be able to see a difference. But I have some upscale 4Ks in my collection, and they look pretty good. And like I wouldn't complain about any of them. And the new License to Drive from Germany, it's coming out of. I don't even know how this is getting released. I don't understand it. I don't care. It's from a legit place in Germany, I guess. And so we're getting a 4K, and I love that movie. I love the Corey Haim, Corey Feldman. You can't go wrong with those guys. But that movie, it's an upscale 4K, and I'm getting it anyway, and I expect it to look pretty good. Now, the Blu-ray, I always thought looked pretty good. There's some minimal room for improvement when I watch it on my bigger television. But, yeah, I think the upscale is going to be perfectly fine. But it's also the same thing. Like if it's going to be worth it to you, do you have ginger snaps in your collection? If this is an upgrade, then maybe it's not. Maybe it's one of those like wait for a sale kind of things. But if you don't have it, I think it would be perfectly fine. I think Iron Lung is on YouTube only. Oh, wow. Here we go. Do you plan to pick up Ready or Not 2? Here I Come. It just went down to $30 on Amazon. It was as high as 40. Yes, I do plan on picking that one up. I did love it. I didn't know it was sitting at that crazy higher $40 price tag, because that's just a standard release, right? I don't think are we getting a 4K of that? I think that one's just coming to Blu-ray. And so $40 for a Blu-ray, nonsense. But I like the film. I like the first one. The second one, it's like most sequels, it's not as good as the first, but I like the fact that it wasn't 100% a rehash. It was a continuation. It felt like a continuation. It felt like a proper sequel, and so I did enjoy it. I really did. I don't know if they're going to do a third one or if that's even in the works, but something about the second one I thought was fantastic, and so I will be picking that up for sure. Let's see, what do we got? Not sure if you're an Adam Sandler fan. It depends. But was curious if you're going to pick up the 4Ks of Click and 51st Dates. Yes, Click, one of my daughter's all-time favorite films, so that'll be an easy pickup. And 51st Dates, I don't know if I needed it, but like I might pick it up. Like that's one of the things. I wasn't super stoked about the announcement, but I have the film on Blu-ray. And we just picked it up, I think, like last year or 2 years ago. Like very recently, we added it to the collection. And so it's one of those things that, I mean, it could. I think it's a nice Blu-ray, but a 4K would be good. It's just one of those things like if I had it in my collection for all these years, it would probably be an easy day one. But I don't remember what I paid for it. But I'm expecting it was probably at the higher $20 price range. And then it was a very recent pickup. So 100% Click, because I don't think we have that one, actually. I think we had, because I know we had Click on DVD, and then I got rid of all those DVDs that have Blu-rays when we moved. And so that might be a thing. I have to double check. If I don't have it in the collection at all, 100% picking it up. On the fence about 51st Dates. But I think the movie is great. I love that movie. It's one of my favorite rom-coms. It definitely is. I like that one. But as far as like the Adam Sandler films go, I like Adam Sandler films, but it seems like I'm getting more into the stuff that when I was a kid, like when he was like super popular, I always loved Billy Madison. Like for whatever reason, like that was one of my all-time favorites, which I still don't have. I don't have a proper version. I only have Billy Madison on VHS. But I've always loved that one. But it was Happy Gilmore was the one where like people were like, oh man, this is the greatest film ever. And when I was a kid, like we went to the theater and see it. Like people were excited about that film. And I just left the film just thinking it was fine. It was whatever. And then now I love it. It's one of my all-time favorites. And so that has grown on me. But some of his more serious roles, like those weird ones, the weird one where he played his sister, he dressed up, he wore the dress and he played his sister. Like I never saw that type of stuff, but like the classic Adam Sandler, Big Daddy, that, yeah, I was into that stuff. Got that. And the 1977 cut of THX is on VHS. Oh, and Laserdisc as well as the 78 cut of American Graffiti. Neither 71 or 73 cut either film has ever been on home video. The mono mix of Graffiti is lost media. Well, I still collect VHS, Laserdisc, all that stuff, and so yeah, I'll track those down. I didn't know that. I've only ever seen the DVD version that I have, and so yeah, I'll check that out. Definitely, yeah. I was like, I'll keep an eye out for those, and especially the Laserdisc, American Graffiti. That would be a great pickup. Let's see. I see the Blu-ray of Fright Night 2 behind you. That's the VHS. That is the VHS. Is that cover variant? Or are you going to get the new 4K? I bet you get them all. I have, Fright Night Part 2 never got a Blu-ray. Fright Night Part 2 is stuck on DVD. It's a sought-after DVD. It holds a higher price tag because that's where it was. I don't remember who put it out. It might be Anchor Bay, but it might not be. But the DVD I know is more expensive. So I have the VHS, and I just watched it last night. I couldn't wait for the 4K. I've been wanting to revisit it. We just watched Fright Night last weekend, me and my daughter. And so then I was like, I got to watch it this weekend. And so I did. It's the first time I've seen it since I was a kid. And so that's one. It was a great revisit, and I'm looking forward to it. I want to get all of them. But now that they added in the original cover, I think I want to get that. But now that it's 4, originally I was going to go over the top and get all 3 of those covers because I thought they were all fantastic. It's a collector thing. It's a movie that almost was kind of lost to, home video, stuck on DVD and just kind of not being put out again because of rights issues or whatever. And not whatever, but that was a big deal, that whole story. I know there was like a whole thing. Roddy McDowell was super excited to make a 3rd one, but then all the rights happened with the Menendez stuff, which sucked. But when they announced that version for being the release for the 4K, I think I'm just going to get that. That's all I'm going to get. It depends. It also depends on the price point. If these things come out at like $60, $70, definitely just going to get that first cover. That's probably the one that's going to sell out the fastest. But the thing is, I like them all. If they're at a smaller price point, like $40, I could see myself getting all of those. Just because I'm such a huge fan. I love Fright Night. I always love Fright Night. And then watching this again for probably been like 20 plus years since I've seen that. And so watching it again is great. Well, even more than that, probably close to 30 years now since I've seen that. And so, yeah, that was a fun watch. Let's see. Haven't checked, but the average shipping from overseas and why do you need a high-def version of a movie, Second Sight with John Larroquette? I love that way. And why do we need? I do. Who's putting that out? I love Second Sight. That's one of my all-time favorites. It's stuck on DVD. I have the VHS. I have the DVD. And depends on where you get stuff from. Shipping can be expensive or it cannot be, and depending on who ships it. So if you buy stuff through Amazon in whatever country you're buying it from, they'll use third-party sellers. They'll sell through Amazon. And one thing I bought it was going to get shipped to me. It was like, I think they charged like $7 for the import fees and the tax. But then I bought something else, and then in the same purchase, but it was being shipped from somebody else. And then it was $25 for the import fees and tax, and both were Blu-rays. And so that all depends. If you're getting it from an actual label that's putting it out, then it's much more manageable and a nicer price and not too bad. And so I import stuff. It's all over, but a lot of times it's close to double. Not always, but like stuff when I order like the brand new releases from Amazon that are being put out, like when we got the Steelbook only of Willow, it was about $40 for the steelbook, and then shipping, tax, everything. It was about $43 to get it shipped from the UK. And if I lived in the UK, it was a 20-pound or $20 Blu-ray or 4K, and just a standard version. And so it depends on what it is between tax, shipping, and the import fees. Most of the time, adds double, but it all depends. So yeah, if Second Sight is putting that out, I mean, not second. Yeah, Second Sight. The Second Sight movie being put out on any kind of format that's not DVD, I'm all in. It's one of my favorites. I love that film. Still waiting for the Beatles. Let's see. I'm still waiting for the Beatles in Help to arrive in 4K with the mono mix. It would be a forever wait. Never thought that the Lester films of the Musketeers would hit 4K. You never know. No, that's true. Like, you don't know what's going to be put out. And like, the conversation always goes into like, they don't put the stuff out because they don't know we're into it. And things have changed. Like, we used to buy stuff in the stores, like those numbers would go to the studios. And there were several cases where DVD sales would bring TV shows back because the sales were so high. And so that information was shared. But now things are just a little different. And so the studios aren't aware. But the best thing is, like, if there is a film that you're interested in, and you could always email some boutique labels and see, and they'll get it over to their buying agency, and they'll see if they can acquire the film, because sometimes things are locked up in rights, and sometimes it might cost too much just to license it out. So it all depends. But if it's a lesser known title like that, hitting up one of the boutique labels and just a suggestion for them to put out, some of that stuff has gotten us some great films. So yeah, I would do that. I would go that route for sure. And Jeff, good morning, brother. John Doe Juggalo, check him out. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, brother. Good afternoon. I also like to like for Disney's Three Musketeers 93 and the 48 Gene Kelly version in 4K from MGM. Those would be great. I would pick up the Gene Kelly one. I think my Blu-ray's been fine. So I have the 93 version on Blu-ray, but the Gene Kelly movie I don't have. That would be a nice pickup. Oh, Fright Night. Yeah, Fright Night Part 2 is on Spanish Blu-ray. That's right. Yeah, I never picked that one up. I didn't want to get that one. I've been waiting for all these years. And then once we did get that announcement, I'm super excited. But yeah, we did get that one. My biggest wishes are probably King Kong original or Adventures of Robin Hood in 4K. Warner Brothers, I have no idea what the holdup is. I don't either. Those are, I think those are staples. They've been put out pretty much on every single format. They're fan favorites, and they're probably the most talked about titles of the golden era of Hollywood. That for Warner Brothers, I think they're probably some of the most talked about. Yeah, what is the holdup? 100%. Yeah, 100% agree. Adventures of Robin Hood would be amazing. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. 3-strip negative Technicolor for Robin Hood with Errol Flynn is is in existence. The original sound discs for Corn Gold soundtrack probably don't exist, though. They have tape copies. Yeah. That some of that stuff is frustrating. And then that gets into the conversation of like, they're probably going to use AI to try to repair the stuff or fix it or replace it. And that's where I hate it. I don't like that. But it depends. Like, if they're going to use AI to manipulate stuff, but if it's the only way to save it, I don't know. But then you have to look at like how those fans took all those scans from theater reels and laser discs, and they put together those fan edits of Star Wars, and they did fantastic jobs. The bootlegs have been available forever. You can download the files for free, and they did such an amazing job. And that was just fan love into the films without like, millions of dollars and giant, gear and all this other, stuff to do it. And they were able to do it. And so studios with tons of money, like, some of this stuff would be great. But I just suspect with things being pushed in the AI model so much that, any lost audio, it would be replaced with that. But Anyway, it was great, guys. I've been going for 2.5 hours. I got to get the day started. Always fun hanging out. Tomorrow night, we are doing the member-only live stream, 8 p.m. my time. And with that, I'm going to watch a movie today, and I'll catch you guys next time.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Oh, don't give me a pat. That's mine.